hear me out. All right.
Hear me out.
All right.
Wait, hearing you out is exactly what we're gonna do.
Yeah, wait.
Fox.
Before we move in, right? I want to talk with chat.
Uh-oh.
Hear me out, chat. All right, you don't need to be giving the villains any kind of boons. Okay, this is we have a plan. All right, but it's a plan. Okay, we work together, chat. Remember the good times. Remember, how fun these adventures have been. Little side adventures, kind of. But they're real consequences. There are consequences. Your actions have consequences. Okay, I'm done with my soapbox, chat.
That's a sound we need.
Yeah. Now we'll go back and cut that out after this stream, and you can have the consequences sound.
Oh no.
Chat says that was a whole month of rent on your feet. Okay. Just like last week, the party took advantage of some extra prep days between the last heist and this heist, which means that during their briefing, they're going to report on how what they learned with each other, just to make sure that chat is not having any plot holes. So I guess Fox can delegate who's going to do that little reporting. But otherwise, here's your briefing with Fox.
Hello. All right, gang. Now, I know we didn't really have a lot of time to really figure this one out. We only had 6 days, but I think we have just enough information to at least get in, and every day we waste is another that Jeb can't come back to us. So I'm thinking today's the day. You know what I've managed to do, and hopefully I can get us in, so we'll see what happens.
Let's meet our players for tonight's heist.
Hello, I am Jake, and I play Gunna, the mastermind rogue, Hematetian mastermind rogue, the demolitions expert, if you will.
Hey, I'm Wash. I play FP62, the scout rogue? I think he's a scout. He does scouting. I think he does a scout. He's going to do a scout tonight.
Hello, I'm Trevor. I play Bruiser, the inquisitive rogue who also happens to be a very good driver, and he knows everybody.
And hello, I am Cleo playing Fox, the changeling rogue, and you know what? He's gonna bring this whole plan together. It's gonna work.
And I'm Josh, your Wing Badger Game Master. Without further ado, let's kick off tonight's heist. And to do that, we actually need to start not quite at Summit Tower, because you, the gang, if you will, are sitting in your safe house. You're about to begin your heist, but beforehand, and this is what you've probably been waiting for, you need to step outside and catch something. So you step outside of your area, which I believe Bruiser said he got you somewhere in the tech district. So you step outside. The streets are very clean here. There's a lot of automated transportation, options like Cypher trucks and things like that. There's a metro that connects this to the industrial district, which is across the valley from you. The metro has the long bridge with stilts underneath of it. But right now what you're doing is actually going around the corner to where a statue is holding, it's just a humanoid statue, but they're holding at attention a bugle in their hands, a brass bugle. And you're not the only ones here. There's a large crowd gathered around this statue just in time for... Good morning, denizens of Stainless. You're listening to the Brass Bugle, keeping your gears turning and your minds well stocked with all the latest news from cogs to crime. I'm your host, Rusty, and it's been a busy week no matter how you wind it up. Firstly, a reminder to all inventors and tinkerers. The city's invention fair is just around the corner, so dust off those blueprints and get ready to show off your latest and greatest creations. Friends in the entertainment district will already know that popular local band The Gear Grinders released a new album this week featuring last year's hit Clockwork Heart, as well as a cover of the iconic Steamboat Love Story. Will their version be as good as the Gadgeteers? That's for you to decide. I might suggest that you decide from within your homes, as the rain isn't the only wave sweeping across our beautiful city this weekend. Crime is on the rise all across Stainless. The explosion last week in the Lower West Side that claimed 47 lives and was attributed to elusive gang the Black Fangs seems to have drawn retaliation, as another explosion rocked the University District just a few days ago, decimating the University Clock Tower. City Watch urge everybody to keep their eyes well lubricated for maximum effectiveness in locating this hematetian, and a small illusory image of Gunner appears sort of protruding from the bell of the bugle. In locating this hematetian, who is suspected of orchestrating at least one of the explosions. Representatives from the university requested that I remind you that just because there's no clock tower does not mean you can arrive late to your exams. And lastly, in sports news, the Minecraft racing qualifiers begin tonight. There are still a few seats available in the arena if you haven't purchased tickets yet, and it's sure to be a great contest. Signing off from our base station in Summit Tower, I'm Rusty, and this has been your Brass Bugle broadcast. Have a lovely evening. And the bugle sort of cools down, and the chatter ends. And Gunner, you want to roll a stealth check or something for me to not get seen by the crowd here?
Gunner pulls his fedora down in front of, kind of to hide his eyes, and starts.
Great. Also, all of you can add a D4 of Oceans. Chad is benevolent to you here at the beginning of the game.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Thanks,
What is he
Chad.
rolling? A stealth check?
Yes, to
That
basically
wasn't
just keep himself
that good. That
unseen.
was only a 9.
Uh-oh.
Can I roll to assist?
You sure, if you can describe how you're assisting?
I'm gonna immediately just kind of like shuffle in front of him and kind of like make it seem like he's part of a crowd, not just standing out. Like I'm trying to just be like, all right, yo, we gotta move you back to the house. I'm just trying to
Okay.
throw my cloak over him, perhaps.
So Gunner can roll advantage.
All right. Aha, that's much better. That's a dirty 20.
There you go. Okay, you are able to escort Gunner off the premises, and as far as you can tell, nobody follows you. And so it is that as clouds gather on the horizon, and actually a little closer than that, the rain is already reaching the northern end of the city where the university and the arena are, and it's moving your direction. It's coming south towards you, that you're approaching Summit Tower. What time of day have you chosen to approach Summit Tower for your heist?
I'd like to use an ocean. So, knowing that getting inside was going to be tough, Fox decides his best bet is by picking up a whole new persona. And in fact, this whole week, he has not been Fox, but in fact, has been Blake Spidey. Yes, I named him after the spider in our house named Blake. Hashtag no context. And he is a middle-aged man with short, almost balding hair, and he has applied for a job to be a security guard for Summit Tower.
Oh, has he?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to spend 3 oceans. 1 for the disguise, one for immersing yourself in society so that there's a little bit of a trail to, if they were to do like a background check or whatever, there would be a couple of people who'd like, yeah, I know Blake. And then one is going to be a skill check to determine how well your interview goes. I would like you to roll a charisma check without proficiency opposed by a charisma check without proficiency from the other side.
Just straight charisma?
Just straight
No
charisma.
deception,
Never mind,
no
they
nothing?
rolled a natural 1. It goes great. Your interview killed it. And what was your answer? Like, you gave them at least one answer to a question in your interview that blew their mind. What was that answer? What was that thing you said? Take us back into the room.
I know I'm a little overqualified. I may have actually been part of stopping the world's greatest heist. Oh, you know the one in Stainless 20 years ago, the one everyone talks about and is awed by, and it almost got away with it. I was the one who stopped him. I've been retired for a while, but I thought I'd get back in the game, and I'm your best man. That's my work experience.
Well, sir, we sure are glad to be bringing you on here at Summit Tower. The construct on the other side of the table says, like, kind of stacking your papers in a very, like, jerky and orderly fashion as they straighten the papers and set them down.
Living retired, I know that my sleep schedule has been off, and I prefer night shift if that's available. Working part-time and whatnot.
They rolled a nat 1 on the charisma check. I'll give you that one for free. Yes, you achieve night shift. Anything else as part of this flashback?
Just that I'm manning the gate on that night that we decide to go in.
All right, so what you're telling me is it's evening, and
I'm going in for my shift.
And okay, so you're going to work right now in the evening.
Yes.
Okay, you approach Summit Tower. Again, 101 floors of sleek steel plating going up the outside. There are a few gaps for windows, but largely this building is opaque. And the steel panels, the edges of them, or the seams, actually glow with the subtle amber of active ciphers and hotlines, run up the outside of the building as well as some inside the building. Basically, this is a well-powered machine. Like, this building itself is its own machine. Actually, I'll have Fox roll a d6 for me. Let's figure out where your shift is assigned tonight in the tower.
Whoa. Landed on my keyboard incorrectly. I got a 6.
You got a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okie doke. Fox, you have been assigned to guard the atrium. You are not at the front desk. Obviously, that's for the reception staff. But you are sitting in one of the seats. Better yet, you're in plain clothes, disguised as a guest or someone waiting for a meeting. And you are to keep an eye on things, make sure nobody shady gets in through the door. There are 4 other guards on the shift with you who are interspersed throughout the atrium. The atrium itself of Summit Tower is like this big, impressive space with vaulted ceilings. There's a huge chandelier that is actually clockwork, like little gears are turning and whirring inside of it that slowly rotate the light fixtures around the outside of the chandelier. And then the steel plating on the outside is mirrored plating on the inside. So the mirrors cause the light to really get magnified. And so there's this really warm kind of dancing glow through the lobby. And so you have that dancing glow. It seems to almost be dancing to the tempo of the rain that begins to fall gently outside.
I'd like to talk to my manager.
Sure. Okay. So you stand up and you walk through a little door on the side of the atrium. It doesn't even look much like a door. It's meant to kind of blend in with the architecture. But when you step through, it leads into a cement kind of like generic stairwell, this didn't have to be fancy kind of stairwell. You walk down one flight of steps to the manager's office, which is directly behind the cart park underneath Summit Tower. And you knock on the door and you hear it, "Come in."
Hello, sir.
What can I do for you? It's
Blake.
Captain Lars Durkin standing there on the inside. That's a throwback. If anybody can get it, I'll give you inspiration. Captain Lars Durkin tips his hat to you.
Sorry to bother you, Lars. And I've only been working here for a week, but I'm gonna be honest. You know, getting older now, and my right leg's feeling kind of bummed, a little stiff. I was wondering if I have a lot of patrols with my current setup. Could I switch maybe with somebody, like maybe at the gate or something? Pebbles, you know, Pebbles is young. He can handle the patrolling. I just haven't gotten back into full physical condition, if you know what I mean. Retirement really slows you down.
Not sure why you applied for a job here if you were not feeling up to the task.
Well, I thought
I'll give it to you this time, but this can't be a habit. You understand? You're gonna have to get yourself back in shape.
I understand, Lois. I've started physical therapy. We're gonna get back to 100%, just like in my prime.
All right. Well, when you see Pebbles out there in the gatehouse, don't tell him it's because you're feeling down. Tell him it's because he was 2 minutes late to work, and I've got a graveyard shift for him.
Awesome, Lois. You're the best.
Get out there.
All right, I go.
And
Go head over to Pebbles.
You head out into the cart park. The cart park has 3 different sections in it. There's a section that's sort of paved with like loose gravel, and this is where people might stable livestock if they ride to work, or if they have their own carriages, they might get parked over here. There's a section for drop-offs, where when someone charters or has a courier or whatever, they get dropped off. And then there's a segment off on the side of the like basically on the side of the cart park, there's a wall of verticulators. There's 4 of them, and on that same wall where the verticulators are, right in the center, is a little gatehouse. And in that gatehouse there are 2 security professionals. One of them is Pebbles, and the other one you'll also get to name. You head over there and address them as you will.
Oi, Pebbles manager wants to see you, Lars. And of course,
Why?
I'm gonna be honest. He said
Did
something
my time
about
off get approved?
it was something about timing. To be fair, I don't like prying, so. But he told me I'm to replace you for now.
Okay, hopefully my time off got approved. And Pebbles hops up and leaves. A squirrely young gnome leaves and goes past you. And so then you're left in there with just the grizzled old elf.
How's it doing, Barkley?
Oh, you know, same old, same old.
Yeah.
Just down here, watching people put stuff over there, walk into things over here, go on up.
I'll be honest. I'm was kind of hoping I'd have a slow day, and Laws came in for me, and next thing you know, some Pebbles did. I'm taking over for Pebbles, so hopefully a nice slow shift today.
It's always a slow shift down here.
I don't see anybody. You wanna play a little cards?
Roll persuasion. Whoa!
What'd I get?
DC to beat is a 24.
Ooh, man! If only I didn't get a 32.
Dang. Yeah, I'll play a little cards.
All right, I offer a wingle digit, and we'll start betting on low stakes.
I'll match that. He throws a wingle digit down on the table.
Now that I've set up the introduction, I'm gonna go ahead and activate my earpiece, which I have disguised as an earring.
All right, and as a reminder for chat, this is they have 3 hours of communication on these. They're just accessories. They can choose how they flavor it, but they get 3 hours of like radio comms.
Hearts it is, which is our key word for operation is a go.
All right, what happens?
I would like to start our side of it with an oceans, Josh.
Okay.
So during this week of prep, Bruiser was working on acquiring work uniforms for the gang, and for the rest of the gang, and 2 disguising the cipher truck to look like any old cipher truck, essentially.
Roll a vehicle maintenance kit intelligence check with advantage.
Can I add
It's a
proficiency?
vehicle. Oh,
Oh, yeah, you can. Yes, you're proficient with those.
Okay. Natural 20.
Nice. I don't know what it says on the truck, but it doesn't say 4 guys and anymore. That's for sure. Describe your disguise to me, and also because you rolled so well on that check, I'll give you half price on the uniforms. You'll still need to spend another ocean on them, so that's 2 oceans. But I'll give them
that's
to you for
fine.
half price. So that's 150 wingle digits for all of your uniforms, not each.
Okay. So the cipher truck is just going to be like plain, like a normal employee would drive, essentially. That the ones that own them, like it's not going to have any decals or anything. It's just going to be like
Unmarked
nice
white
and
van.
shiny, like polished.
yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You
candy
feel
kids?
well. You don't, but Fox, when he first sees your work before the heist begins, you probably feel a small pang of regret that the hanging plants that Zothkug decorated the cipher truck with have been removed.
Oh,
But indeed, it is a smooth, shiny, chrome
about that.
cipher truck. And that brings us back to the present.
Yes. Everyone is in their outfits. Yes.
Should I use disguise self now? Are we rolling up?
Yes.
And my guy Gunnar will use a disguise self cipher on himself.
Nice. I respect that.
He will transform into. You'll see him, his muscles on his arms and his body and his head size all shrink, just a slight, he's just, and he gets like 3 inches shorter. He's debuffed himself. He's no longer a big buff guy. He takes off his fedora. His face is just a lot smoother. He's still a hematician, but he kind of is like smooth SpongeBob meme with his face. It just has it has much vaguer details on it. And he's in his work uniform. So.
oh, disguise self, not a terrorist. Gotcha.
Does this work? I'm trying this voice out. Do you think this sounds different enough?
yeah, I
all
think
right.
you'll be fine.
I think you look wonderful. You look a lot like me now.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then Bruiser will head towards the Summit Tower gate and cart park.
Okay. The engine revs pleasantly as you drive at a normal, believable speed towards the gatehouse. Or not the gatehouse, I should say, but the cart park itself. So you drive towards Summit Tower. There's a sort of loop in front of Summit Tower where like really important people might get out or guests. You drive off to the side of that loop and down a small ramp, which leads you into the cart park. And I'm assuming you're going to park. So Fox, you and the guard look up briefly from your game of cards as another generic, standard-looking cipher truck pulls in, turns off to the right so it's facing away from you towards the parking area, and pulls into a parking space.
The bird has entered the nest.
All right, go fish.
Ah. All right. I've never done the gate duty. Are we supposed to check on them in any way, or we good in here?
Well, I mean, they're going to flash ID as they walk past, I'm sure.
Right.
If they don't flash ID, I mean, I guess we have to do something, but like...
So they'll come up.
What
to
are the
gate.
odds of them not having ID?
Over the earpiece. So they come over to the gate and come say hi to us. Then, all right.
Why are you poking your ear like that?
Well, I got this new piercing. My daughter says it makes me look younger. What do you think?
I'm going to add a
Baldwin?
die to the tension pool.
Does it make me look younger?
I'm going to be honest with you. Nothing's going to make you look younger, man.
Damn it.
Josh, I would like to use an Oceans to get fake IDs for everyone.
Bruiser does know a guy, but it's not going to be easy to come across fake IDs for Summit Tower. Summit Tower's got some of the tightest security in the city.
Can I donate?
They're going to cost you.
Can I donate an Oceans or multiple Oceans to help
No.
procure? Because I'm in. Okay.
This is Bruiser's flashback.
Gotcha,
Well,
gotcha.
okay, you know what? If you use a skill, then sure, you can spend an ocean and help. That makes sense. So Bruiser, no, if you're using a contact that you know, then you can get them. It'll only cost you the 1 ocean, but it will cost you probably like 400 wingle digits. We're probably talking like 100 wingle digits per.
We have Fox's ID.
Okay, so 300
to
wingle
copy.
digits. Okay. Yeah, then you obtain them. You obtain the IDs, and the IDs are small ruby obelisks. They're just slightly larger than your closed fist, and they have a sort of strange, it looks like a tornado that's been frozen in the middle of them, but they're like flecks of some kind of dark rock or other material.
Don't you play with my heart.
Okay.
As a
So we get out.
I'll let you go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. We get out and we're gonna walk over to the gatehouse and I'll show my ID and presumably everyone's following.
The guard looks up and barely gives you a second glance. He just nods to you. Yeah. All right. He turns back to his card game and goes, got any sixes?
Oh, not this time. Go fish.
Gosh. And he like slams his hand on the table. You walk right on past and into the verticulators. Each verticulator has. Are you all getting in the same one, or are you getting in like different ones each?
Could I survey the car park while we're walking?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a perception check for me.
Ooh, 15. So that's what, 25, I think.
Okay, you do a pretty good job surveying. The cart park, other than the things I've described, it's the night shift, so there's hardly anybody going in or leaving. The people who have finished their shift for the day left a little earlier, and the people who were coming for the night shift would have arrived before that. So there's nobody else in there except you three and the guard. Well, 2 guards. The floor has steel grates in it that would drain into the sewers, so it slightly slopes down to each grate, and they're just at regular intervals. It's standard drainage for like what you would see in any parking garage. In one corner there are 4 or 5 of those glowing batteries like you saw in the Umbral Sea, glowing with the sort of amber energy, and they appear to be hooked into at least one hotline conduit which runs up and then into the ceiling of the cart park and presumably into the rest of Summit Tower. And there's a staircase, the employee staircase that Fox recently used to come down and greet the guard. Other than that, you've seen pretty much everything there is to see here. The lighting is cool and harsh and constant. They're just ciphers of light that are mounted to the ceiling at regular intervals, so it's a very like flat white, and it kind of illuminates everything in a harsh glare that reflects off the steel grates and hurts your eyes a little bit.
There are a number of pipes around, and you said that one of them was conduit that connects hotlines. Can I ascertain the purpose of any of these other pipes?
Yes, you are very familiar now with what plumbing is,
very
and
much so.
some of them are for plumbing. Some of them are for running water. You can recognize them because they've got that hatch that looks kind of like what you'd expect to see on an air duct, but it isn't. And then you can also see a couple of air vents, and they are hooked up to a large box that has a hopper on the top of it for wingle digits to sit in. And you're not sure exactly what that box is doing, but it is kind of like whirring, softly as it goes about whatever spell or thing is happening there. So some of the pipes are for that. Those ones are more square, and the plumbing pipes are round. And then there's the thinner pipes, which are conduit for hotlines. And although you don't know where each of them go, you can identify that, okay, more than just one of these has hotlines in it. It's just that only one of them is plugged into the batteries on this floor.
How thin is the hotline conduit? Well, are they big enough that something tiny could get into it?
Yeah, they have a diameter of like 8 inches.
Oh, okay. I would like to stealthily walk over to the batteries and conduit. But before I do, I'm going to just kind of like lean up to Gunner and Bruiser and whisper while we're walking. I'm considering placing an explosive on the batteries to be used later, and also to map the building through the charges. Do you have any opposition to that?
Wait.
No.
Are you gonna map using the explosive?
No, using the hotline.
Oh, all right. I was to say, wow, that's crazy that you would have found a way to do that. That would be really cool. Yeah, I mean, be my guest in some ways. Wish I thought of that first, but go for it.
I will meet you at the elevator.
All right.
What's an
The
elevator?
verticulator.
All
Sorry,
right.
a glitch.
It's all right. I just, they sound kind of similar. I haven't heard elevator before, but, it sounds like it would do the same thing.
I believe I
Don't
was
worry about
thinking elevation change machine and verticulator, and I got the two words mixed up.
Well, some would say elevator or hardly knower, but it's whatever.
A joke.
Yeah. Sorry. All right, let's do it.
I got a 22 on my stealth.
Oh, I forgot to roll for the guard. Roll with advantage because Fox is distracting as well. Fox will be able to hear your conversation over the comms, so Fox knows.
22.
Your stealth goes great. Fox,
Oh.
you are confident that the guard is not looking at FP, but why?
Oh, he's already lost 3 Wingle digits, and he knows I have what he has one card that will win the game and win back some of his Wingle digits. I have one of them, but he doesn't know which one it is, and he needs to know the right one. He's thinking really hard about it, right? He's like, I've gone through 6s, I've gone through 7s. He doesn't have 7s. If I get the jack, I win. But I don't know if he has the jack, and if he doesn't, then it's a go fish, and he's really thinking about it. I'm over
He's
here
got
just
6
laughing
cards
at
in
him.
his hand, and none of them match. There's no jacks on the table yet, so the odds are good that he's got a jack in there. But this is going to be tough.
I try to
FP, you make it
remember
over
what game
to
we're playing
the
halfway through.
FP. You make it over to the batteries.
FP slides out, much like a card trick player from his wrist, his jack, and taps onto the hotline.
Ah, it's a jack. Aha.
Yes, you do. You click right into the junction box where basically there's like a meter attached to the batteries or something like that. And so the first thing that you're able to verify is that these batteries are all at relatively high power. They must have been installed recently. The second thing that you can see is that this particular circuit, these batteries are plugged into only one thing, and it's not on this floor. The hotline that they connect to goes up into the tower, up an indeterminate distance. It's a long way, but it's long enough that you start to experience some signal degradation, and so you can't get the exact distance. However, roll investigation you've got your kit out, so use your, I don't remember what we called this kit, but Jack kit intelligence.
Ooh, that's pretty good, even though my intelligence is pretty bad. That's a 19 plus 4, so 23.
Nice. Okay. Instead, you are actually able to, even though there's some signal degradation, you are able to sort of boost the signal a little bit with some of your own power, just for a heartbeat kind of thing. And you identify that this circuit leads to the 47th floor of Summit Tower. It appears on the 47th floor to be joined by a number of other auxiliary power sources and then connected to something. You're not sure what exactly it's connected to. There's a whole bunch of things that are creating load on this circuit. You are not sure what those things are. They're not machines or ciphers with which you are familiar, if that makes sense.
Okay. I will unclip my jack, and I will plant a small explosive device on the... Actually, no, you know what? No. I'm going to... as FP turns away, I'm going to release a tiny little spider from my arm, and it's going to climb up into the conduit and begin making its way straight up to that 47th floor.
As it scampers up into the conduit, this is a find familiar, is that
It
right?
is.
Okay. Yeah, so it begins scampering. It's going to take it a while to scale this distance. So I'm assuming you're just sending it to the end, right? You want to know what's on the 47th floor?
I have instructed it to go up to the 47th floor and tell me when it gets there.
And it scampers off. I'm going to set a real world timer, and Cleo, Trevor, and Jake are each going to roll a d10.
6.
8.
Who do we appreciate?
7.
6 plus 8 is 14, plus 7 is 21. So in 21 real minutes, your familiar is going to reach the upper floor, or the 47th floor, I should say, and we'll be able to report back to you.
Okay.
It's a lot of floors.
It is a lot of floors,
Yeah.
and it's straight up. So, it's also
Conduit.
got to squeeze its way around all the hotlines and all that kind of thing. But yes, it scampers off to do that and has no other trouble.
Very good. And I will meet the rest of the team at the maintenance elevator, or the elevator, or the verticulator. I'm stressing, guys. My
Very good.
brain's on running at 80% tonight.
Did you plant an explosive?
Just enough. Just what we need.
Alternative plan. It appears to be connected to something important, and I have deployed my little buddy, as I like to call him, to traverse up to the top. And should we need to disconnect the power, he can cut the hotlines within the conduit. Not as flashy as you enjoy, and I apologize for that, but just as effective.
It's all right. I don't. If this gets flashy, we may not make it out. But there's a point where maybe that makes it more fun. We'll figure it out.
We always do.
Right now, cut to the end of this episode when the building's on fire, blown up, and we're walking away in the distance.
Driving away.
That's like a flash forward.
Yeah, just, but whoever's editing, this, you know what to do. All right, you know what to do.
Whoever's editing, whoever that'll be.
Whoever that will be. We don't know who that will be.
It's a mystery. It just happens.
Thanks, Mr. Editor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's automatic, right? We just stop streaming and there's a podcast.
I could do all that. So
Yeah, ChatGPT could edit this podcast. Okay, Fox, are you doing anything yet, or should I follow them up the verticulators?
At the moment, I'm just going to keep an ear to both my radio and also the guard radio, because I'm sure we have one. I'll just turn up the guard radio so that way, be like, Blakely, I'm just going to turn this on so we don't miss nothing. And I'll just leave the guard cipher. I'm guessing they have a cipher radio thingy?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just leave that volume a little high so that way I can still hear it while playing the game. Make sure that on the pretenses on the outside, I'm just listening like a good guard. But in reality, I'm listening for anything they F up.
I gotcha. Okay, so you sit down.
Fix.
I would like you to roll
Anything we fix up.
roll a dexterity. No, roll sleight of hand. We're just going to see how well you do at cards tonight.
Okay.
Your opposed sleight of hand check that you're trying to beat is a 22.
Ooh. All right. Well, I'm not gonna beat that necessarily. So I got a 15.
Okay, so over the course of the night, you basically maybe you lose like 3 wingle digit. You draw even pretty much.
Okay.
It's not because you're doing small bets anyway. You're just trying to keep the guy interested and waste away the time.
Right.
You're not trying to ruin any friendships here. I'll charge you 6 wingle digits because it'll make the wingle digit counter a round number, which will make it faster when you spend money in the future for me to figure out what you have left. So there you go. Okie doke. So while that's happening, the other 3 of you walk into the verticulator, and one of you kind of closes the chain link door behind you, and you are presented with a small, an indent in the wall of the verticulator. Otherwise, it's like steel paneling in here. It's lit by a single cipher overhead, cipher of light.
Does it look like an indent for the badges to go in?
Yes, it's for the obelisks.
Does it look like we all put? Yeah.
gonna
Do we
try.
all? Is it sized for many or just one?
It's the right size for one.
I'll put mine.
Okay, you push in halfway and you hear it click, and a series of runes illuminate on the inside of the verticulator. The runes seem to be there's 100 of them, and they're numbers.
Are they numbers we recognize?
Yeah, they're numbers
Okay.
like 0 through 100. Well, L through 100.
Uh,
L 1 2 3 4 5 up to 100.
Well, squad.
What was the interesting flaw from your little scouting?
Floor
FP?
47.
Do you think, if you said you sent your bug up there, do we want to go up there too, or do you just want to wait for that to discover something and we go somewhere else first?
Well, it stands to reason that our goal would either be to discover where our target is, and then as FP's like talking, he kind of like, can I scan around this verticulator to see if there's any like listening devices?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Oof, not as good, but 17.
I'll roll a tension die. Let's find out. Nope. Oh, I forgot to start you with extra tension die for your extra prep days. Lucky
No
you.
take backsies.
Yep, I'm not taking it back now. I just realized I did. That's okay. There's plenty that can go wrong tonight. You don't need any bonus tension. You do not see any listening or looking devices in the verticulator.
Okay, so he just kind of
the
pauses
series of
for a
runes.
second as he scans around. We can either spend some time ascertaining the location of our target, or we could go directly to floor 47 and investigate. It appears to be connected. Floor 47 is connected to these batteries for some unknown reason. The batteries appear to be some auxiliary power source to other power sources there, potentially as a backup. I do not know what is there. We will know in about 20 minutes, maybe a little less than that. We could go to a floor nearby there and pretend to maintain something and gather information. Bruiser, this would likely be your field of expertise. And when my little buddy gets to floor 47, I will be able to look through his eyes and maybe get a little recon before we go in blind.
While we're talking, be like, hey, Fox, do you know any points of interest while you've been here? What floors we should go to, or what floor Jeb's at?
I'm gonna roll an Oceans to have gossiped with the guards throughout the week
Ooh.
about the worst duties. I can roll like a persuasion, performance, what would you like?
Investigation.
Investigation.
But roll it charisma powered instead of intelligence powered.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, I know. Kind of new here, so Pebbles, do you want to tell me about some of the worst things you've done on the job here, like some of the worst places to work? I rolled a 22.
I don't really have any worse places to work. I mean, I'm just, I just like to do my job. I suppose the more like uninteresting or boring places to work are probably like, in accounting and legal. Like all you do is walk through once an hour. That's pretty boring. Let's see what else is here.
Well, how about
yeah.
Is there interesting places? Like one time I was guarding this ruby that the bank was said was gifted by a king, and I had to make sure nobody could touch it. And while nothing really happened, it did make it interesting,
Well, there are some places where it's interesting because you don't know what's going on behind the door. Anytime they have us on the 37th floor guarding that office, that one's always a little bit weird. That's the office that like nobody really wants to admit who owns it. I'm not even sure who owns it. But those offices, they have some strange meetings from time to time. There's also the the top floor, the penthouse. That's always interesting just because it's like, whoa, like, it's Mr. Sav's got some crazy stuff up there. Just like things that he's collected or gifts he's been given, expensive, treasures and stuff. So whenever you get to, we don't usually get to go in, but if you hear like a spooky noise or if you make up a spooky noise, then you can kind of go in and like, look around and make sure everything's A-okay. But he doesn't like it if he sees you too much on your shift. So you don't want to like go poking in there unless you have a really good reason to. Let's see. I would say the worst place would probably be the private security goons offices up on the 60th floor. They're no fun because like they think they're so much better than us. Ooh, we're mercenaries. Ooh, we get shipped out to different places. Like, come on, and, they've been taking a lot of L's lately, and Summit Tower's been taking no L's. So like, let's just be clear here. As far as security goes, who calls themselves goons?
I think it's ridiculous.
The conversation continues, and you find out that there's also 4 floors of the tower are taken up by the Summit Banking Guild. There's a floor. There's like a pool and gym floor. There's a mechanical floor for like HVAC and things like that, and the floor underneath of it is building management. Boring like groundskeeper and janitor stuff. There's a 6-story hotel in the middle of the tower for like guests, dignitaries, diplomats, whatever. This is where the city of Stainless puts them up. There are apartments in the tower where any old buddy can live. They're pretty high up so that they've got a great view, obviously. There's a break room. There's accounting and legal. There's a conference center, which is the 3rd through the 5th floor. But it's all one conference. It's just a big, large auditorium type thing. The Bright World Company has 3 floors. The 47th, 48th, and 49th floor belong to the Bright World Company. And the Stainless Banking Corp has offices in the tower, as well as DuPont Investment Company. And I think that's everything.
Wow. Okay, I was not expecting that.
It's a big tower.
All right. Well, thanks for passing the time, Pebbles. I know I appreciate you taking the time to show me around a little bit.
Of course. That'll just be one ocean for that conversation.
All right.
It's a lot of value for a single ocean.
I agree.
You're so generous, Josh. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dio. Thank you.
I'm only saying that because I can't physically strike you down with my sword. You're too far away.
So obviously, this would be shared, with the group.
I mean, I vote we maybe check out the 37th floor first, and then once we hear a report back about the 47th from the little bug, then we move on up.
Sounds good to me.
Affirmative.
Perfect.
We're gonna press 37.
Ding! 37th floor. And the verticulator begins moving upwards. Unlike any of your past experience in verticulators or any of your other characters' past experience in elevation change machines, this is a smooth ride. It almost glides upwards in the tower. You don't even feel that like vertigo feeling that people sometimes get on elevators. It's just a very gentle ride. The elevator, or the verticulator, I should say, moves vertically until eventually coasting to a stop, nice and gentle. Ding! 37th floor. And the doors open up again, and you are presented with a small reception desk that nobody is sitting at. There are a few chairs that form a lobby. And FP62, this is familiar to you. This is the floor on which you met with the vaults. There is a carpeted corridor leading off to the end, but unless you go down it, this is just a little lobby area. There's maybe a small little water feature with some fish in it, stuff like that. Just boring old, front lobby stuff.
I have been to this room. And FP kind of moves behind, like backwards and to the side to be behind Bruiser. I'm sorry, and then he realizes Bruiser's tiny, and then he scooches over kind of behind Gunner.
I'm skinny right now. I don't know if that helps. We look kind of similar, actually.
FP is
Shall
super
we
skinny.
go to a different floor then?
This is
Doing
where
what? Sorry.
This is where we delivered the case.
If this floor is associated with the vaults, then it's probably the right track, actually.
Let's find something to fix.
As you are trying to decide what to do, you actually hear a voice from down the corridor, kind of drifting back to the reticulator. It's a low, gravelly voice, and it goes, "Now get those ones loaded up there, okay, pup?"
Can I tell who this character is, or do I need to make a perception check to see that far?
You can't see them, like they're around a corner at the end of the corridor, so you don't see them. You can make... Well, has FP met Jeb?
Negative.
Then FP does not know
I was
who
saying
it is.
none of us have.
In fact, none of you have met Jeb, so no,
No.
you don't
I would
know
like to
who it
use
is.
an ocean.
Okay.
So we're in the safe house, sitting around a table. We've got the map laid out on the table. Fox has already like scribbled in what he's learned about which floors contain what, and who are controlled by who and where. Fox, you said that our target is founder Jebediah Peppermint. I have only
Yes.
seen him in a painting. As I understand it, you are able to change your shape. Is that correct? Could you give us an accurate depiction of what he looks and sounds like?
I can only change it to so small. It'd be a little stretched out, but I might be able to do a Jeb impression.
Okay. It would be most helpful.
Ro-
We would hate to grab a different dirt folk.
So this is a reminder as a changeling, since I know Jeb very well. I can actually mimic, because I think it only takes up to a minute of listening to somebody talk. But I can mimic Jeb pretty well. I'm gonna try my best here. We'll see how it goes. So I go ahead and shapeshift into the short as I can go, which is probably around 5 foot, which is still like many feet taller. But I go a little wider, make it look like just a scaled up version of Jebediah, and I'm gonna be like, now listen here, pup. That's what he used to say to me a lot.
Very good. Because you are
And he used to.
puppy.
Whoa, everybody was pup to him. Well,
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe it was me. I don't know. This is his voice though. I'm trying to think of other Jebisms. Now that I'm on the spot, I can't think of any Jebisms.
Well, while you're thinking,
You scared the fire out of me,
Shapeshift
pup.
as short as I can go is one of the books of the Jebediah Peppermint Chronicles.
Wow, it's been too long since we had another book in the Chronicles. Sure, I will let you spend one ocean and grant, just make it so that we can make the insight check, or 2 oceans and we can get advantage on the insight check.
I'll take 2.
FP. Okay. After careful study, you have a pretty good idea of what Jeb looks and sounds like, and you may now roll insight with advantage to recognize the voice.
That was not that great. That is... Oof. Insight? Oof.
That's the one, Cub.
Oof. That's a 12.
Hey, be careful with that over there. That could go off. We don't want that to go off in here. What do you think you're doing? You scared the fire out of me, pup.
It is enough. You recognize Jeb's voice.
I will say into my earpiece is actually like underneath my ear panel, so it's just like in there. We have found the King of Diamonds.
Got any kings? I say to Barkley. I'm a little shook.
Not yet. We have seen it on the deck, but have not.
You hear a
placed
noise
hands on it.
just next to you, crew in the verticulator. Ding! 37th floor. And another verticulator door has opened on this floor. Someone begins stepping out of the verticulator. You've basically got a couple seconds here. What are we doing?
I'm going to whip around and take a screwdriver from my toolkit and start like unscrewing. Well, is there like any like button panel on the outside of the verticulator that I could like disassemble to look like I'm
Yes.
working on it? I'm going to disassemble it.
There's a panel. It's a cipher that accepts obelisks, just like you did to send the elevator
Gotcha.
up.
I'm going to work on it.
Okay.
Yes, well, that does look like it's in need of repair. I'll let you take care of that, and I will investigate over here. And then
All right.
Gunnar will walk to the other side of the room and try to find something to do.
FP rolled deception with advantage.
Thank you for that.
We all know-
you got help.
Yeah.
Someone aided you.
We all know verticulators are breaking down constantly.
I rolled a natural 20, which means that I rolled a 19.
Ooh, nice.
Well, you rolled a natural 20. You're so convincing that the person who pokes their head out the door and sees you working on it goes, "Oh shoot, is it do I need to just like go down? Like is this safe?"
Yes, give me one moment and it will be fine. And what does this person look like?
Okay. They are a private security goon. They are wearing a generic private security goon uniform, and they have like a weapon at their hip and whatever. Like it's just a standard issue private security goon.
Do they have any ciphers on them?
Yes, they have 3 ciphers on their hip.
Can I see an ID for this person on them?
They're wearing a patch that says Private Cleo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so not like any tangible form.
It's
of
not
ID.
a name that
Yeah.
you would recognize.
Well, I mean more of like a like an ID thing for getting into private security goon places.
Oh, no. They're not high up enough
Gotcha.
to have like
Okay.
swipe badges or keys or anything like that.
And I'll just like tighten the screw back in and be like, and done. You are good to go.
Oh, great. And they step out of the reticulator and walk down the corridor.
And I'll reconvene with the other guys, but I'll just kind of like, I don't know. I think I'm going to walk towards where we heard Jeb's voice and just try to listen in.
As you're trying to decide what to do next and you're standing with the other guys, you hear like a little kind of scratching noise in the back of your head as your familiar reinitiates contact. How far away does your familiar have to be to communicate with
100
you?
feet, which is 10 floors.
10 floors.
Which is exactly
okay,
the
so you are,
distance between
yep,
us
you're
and-
exactly 10 floors, so that's going to work out great. The report comes back. Are you looking through its eyes, or is it describing it to you, just so I know how to flavor this?
I am going to look through its eyes. I'm going to walk,
Okay.
like grab onto. Yeah, I'm just going to look through its eyes, and I can hear through it as well.
Okay. Great. So you are inside a fully enclosed conduit following some wires, but you're now going horizontally. You can hear a little bit of noise filtering through the pipe. It's hard to determine, for example, how many people are talking, but you can hear the sound of people speaking, things like that. It sounds to you like a legitimate corporate office on this floor. Like receptionists who are talking about things and people who are, it sounds like maybe some drawers opening and closing on file cabinets and things like that. But then you reach the end of this floor and you follow up a right angle and you go to Well, I guess you can't go up the right angle to the next 2 floors, can you? Because you would lose your connection. So maybe your spider is going to try and like poke its head out of the conduit or something like that at a junction box. And looking up, it can see a stairway. This first one, it really is a legitimate corporate office. Now that you're out and you're looking around, that's what you see. There are some stairs leading up to the upper 2 floors. And although you can't see exactly what's happening from here, you can see that the people up there are not your generic issue corporate workers. Instead, these are artificers in white Bright World Company lab coats who are walking up the steps. They've got a handful of like delicate artificer tools in their hands, things that are too complicated for someone who's not an artificer to identify. And whatever is happening up there is getting lots of power. You can see batteries stacked up by the stairs. There are batteries kind of scattered around the ground floor, all of them sort of ad hoc wired into whatever's going on up there. And you can see 3 large work tables. You can't see what's on the tables because you're at a low angle looking up the stairs towards them. But each of their uniform wooden work tables with bright white lights over top of them. The lights actually look to be like a focused cipher of daylight almost. So it's way brighter than the rest of the area is. And then there are some like complicated tools and machines that are on like articulating arms that kind of pull down, almost like looking at a dentist chair where there's like stuff that kind of hangs off the ceiling. It's like that over these tables where there's little like saws and drills and magnifiers and things like that are all kind of arrayed around the table. And there are people taking notes. There are people who are pushing buttons. You can't see the details of what's up there, but there's a lot of artificers up there working on it, and all of them have that Bright World Company white lab coat on.
And can I trace the conduit and see that it connects to all of this stuff?
Yeah, this is what it's powering.
Interesting. But you said there's batteries up there.
Yes, there's also batteries up there. So basically it's all additive.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to tell little buddy to just tuck his head in there and stay put at that junction box for now.
Okay, I'm gonna... Actually, why don't you roll stealth for little buddy? This is to get back into the conduit without being noticed. It is loud up here, though, so I'll give them disadvantage.
20. These spiders are pretty stealthy little guys.
Yep. You don't hear anything that indicates that little buddy was seen hopping back into the conduit.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to clear the tension pool.
Now, I can telepathically communicate with little buddy up to like 1,000 feet. So no matter where I am in the building, more or less, I can talk to him.
Yeah,
I just can't see through him until I'm close.
Got it. Fox, you are downstairs monitoring the radio and playing cards when Lars Durkin comes around the corner and goes, "What are you doing playing cards? I thought I told you to do some real work down here. I need to see those eyes up and I need you at attention. And turn that radio down. You're not going to be able to hear if something goes wrong down here."
Yes, sir. And I immediately like shuffle the cards away. As soon turn down the radio and everything, and just like stand at attention until.
Well, luckily you've had plenty of time to rest that bum knee. How about you give me a lap of the building?
Yes, sir. And I immediately get up and I kind of like small, subtle limps, and I start making a lap of the building. When I first round the corner, when I'm exiting the car park area and I'm out of sight.
Yep.
But probably not out in the public yet. I'm sure there's like a little back alley area we're in, right?
There's like the ramp that leads up to.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do perception check for like any kind of like listening devices or scrying devices.
Okay.
That's a 16.
You identify some small glass orbs at regular intervals that are set around the base of the skyscraper, and it looks like there's another set of them about a third of the way up, and although you can't see as high as the other ones, you could presume that there are ones up there. It is rainy, and as you step outside, you're pretty quickly soaked through as the rainstorm that's kind of sweeping across the mountains has fully arrived at this stage.
I put on my security branded jacket that obviously came with my uniform.
Naturally,
and,
yeah.
And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna roll sleight of hand as I'm standing next to a wall or something to let go of Owlin and just set him down,
Okay.
prepped and ready to go at my command.
For a second, I was like,
And-
"What?" Like I was like, "Am I about to switch character voices?"
Yeah, didn't you know? Sleight of hand of 14.
14. Okay. You rolled a sleight of hand of 14, and you, to the best of your knowledge, have stealthily dropped off Owlin outside the tower. Is Owlin staying on the ground or flying away?
He's just standing perfectly still.
Got it. Okay. So,
And
like,
he's-
just setting him on the ground, basically.
Yeah, right now he's looking down the ramp, but otherwise he's just sitting there, like as if though he's just a little toy.
Cool. He's doing it. And then you're just going for your lap?
Yep.
All right, we zoom back up to the 37th floor, the office of the vaults, where 3 other members of your crew are standing at some chairs trying to decide what to do, recently hearing the news that the Bright World Company are here and they're doing something big, and B, it sounds like Jeb's voice is down the hallway from you.
I think there may be some repairs needed down the hallway. I'm gonna go
I
check it
agree.
Let's go.
I'll follow. Assist you.
out.
I love fixing
heading
things.
down the hallway.
So boring.
You're walking down the hallway. I'm going to clear the tension pool and put the first one back in. Ooh. You're walking down the hallway. The 3 of you have just made it maybe a third of the way down the hallway, just far enough that you can't play it off like you weren't going to walk down the carpeted hallway, when one of the office doors opens and a gang member, a member of the Silver Tongues, steps out. And Bruiser, you recognize this as one of the people you tailed from the casino. I mean, you don't know which one; they were all identical, but
Yeah.
it's one of the Silver Tongues from the casino. Steps out and looks at the 3 of you and goes, "What are you doing here?"
Repairs, sir. We received a maintenance request a little bit further down the hall. Sorry
Nobody
for
on this
getting in your
floor
way.
sent in a maintenance request. He's rolling a roll deception, Gunner, and roll it with advantage because you're all wearing uniform. And he's rolling an insight to try and catch you in the act.
I got a 17.
Nobody on this floor sent in a maintenance request. How about you just turn around and walk out of here, okay? There are things on this floor that are going to have to kill you if you find them.
Gunner would like to spend an ocean.
Yeah, he would.
Whoa.
I'm sure that there's some sort of like maintenance. Gunner knows that the plan is to pose as maintenance workers to get in, obviously. So Gunner realized, if we get asked what we're doing while we're up doing maintenance, quote unquote, they're probably going to want to see some evidence of that. So Gunner would have asked perhaps Fox to take a gander, at least, either a gander or swipe. Just a gander at maintenance request paperwork if he could find it, and Gunner will reproduce some maintenance request paperwork and try to make it a bit generic as to like, oh yep, we're supposed to be here. Here's a request, so that he could maybe like jot down, fill it out as they're going up the verticulator, perhaps. Like, all right, we're going up to the 37th floor. I'm going to mark it down as 37th floor. I don't know if this is too complex to pull off, but here we're trying it.
No, I mean, it's just going to be multiple oceans.
Yep, that's fine.
So, 1 ocean spent with no skill check. This is for Fox to just look around and identify some maintenance paperwork. The second ocean that you're spending is a deception check at disadvantage. You are attempting to forge paperwork, but you are not a forger. It's not your trope. So even if you had a forger's kit, you probably wouldn't be trained in what to do with it.
Okay.
So deception at disadvantage to see how believable your paperwork is. And again, this is something that the other party will roll against.
I rolled the same thing twice, 19.
Oh, nice.
Is that the total or the die?
That is the total.
Nice.
All right, that's a 19. Your papers are 19 believable, and you do have the maintenance paperwork is just parchment that gets rolled up, but it's got work order on it, so you can have forged whatever you want.
So Gunnar will take I'm sure these maintenance uniforms have plenty of pockets so they can store tools and such, and Gunnar will take the request out of his pocket and say, yes, here it is. I'm sorry if there was any mix-up, but it does, as you can say here, say 37th floor.
He snatches the paper out of your hands. Let me see that. Maintenance work on it. Well, why can't you come back in the morning and do this? You don't need to do this right now. Nobody's even up here using it. Okay, look, there's the fridge in the break room.
It's marked urgent up at the top.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they did think the fridge was urgent, but they're wrong, okay? It's nighttime. Nobody's even in here trying to eat out of that fridge. Whatever's in there has been left there for weeks. Nobody labels their food anyway. It's not like there's need. You're not going to save any food. It's all spoiled already. Just come back in the morning, okay? Just go.
You don't get the midnight munchies sometimes?
I mean, I do, but not for like refrigerated foods. Like I just have, chips and stuff.
You don't want ice cream?
If there was ice cream in there, it would have gone bad already, is what I'm saying. I'm saying right now, I'm trying to do my work up here in quiet and peace. And if you go in there and start tinkering and banging on stuff, it's going to make it impossible for me to work up here, okay?
We won't be any noise, sir. You won't even know we're here.
We have this. You got to take it up with the maintenance manager.
FP, is this a DM question or is FP just trying to interject?
This is a DM question.
Oh, okay. What's up?
What do we see inside of the room that he just opened the door to? Like, where's he coming from?
Oh, he's coming from it's got like, not wall to wall. What am I trying to say? Like a ring of desks around the outside of the room. So like touching the wall, and then, little stools that kind of tuck underneath it. There are drawers under the desk. Each of them has a lock on it. The lock is very high grade. One of those drawers is unlocked and open, and there's some papers kind of sitting on the desk. It is angled at a way that it would be very difficult for you to read them, but you can roll perception with disadvantage if you want to try.
Are there any windows in there?
No.
Perception is 25.
Perception of 25. The papers appear to be manifests for, items.
I'm going to hand signal in Thieves' Cant, just like at my side, almost like a little twitchy something or other, so that the other guys can see. And I'm going to sign the words important documents in room, and then choose violence ?
Bruiser will signal back, same sort of style of like hands down at the side, just looking like twitches or fidgeting. Not yet. Try and remain peaceful.
I'm so sorry to be a disturbance today, sir. But you see, we can't go home until we finish this request, and you don't want us just sitting here in the lobby for hours and hours until it's convenient for you to do this. And plus our manager, we get paid hourly, and our manager likes to get us out early, as to save, the company time and resources. So if you please, we will not be a bother. If you want, you can only send one of us back there, so we'll be as minimum amount of disruption to your day, your night, excuse me, as possible. Just one of us.
You gonna be banging on stuff?
Never. I have never banged on stuff my entire life.
All right, just one of you back there then.
And he turns around and, like, quick as a cat, boom, the door slams shut behind him, and you hear click like a lock, and then you hear zzz, like a cipher has been activated.
Gunnar will tiptoe, I don't know, like walk past, like normal walk, and then he'll kind of like look back down the hallway and kind of shrug and kind of motion, like, or like Thieves' Cant hand signal. Maybe you can tiptoe, like, to get all of them back there. I kind of shrug.
I'll follow.
I'll try and follow too.
Stealthily.
Both of you make it past.
Okay.
He is checking
yeah.
at random intervals. That's what the tension die were. Is he's going back to the door and listening at the door to see if anyone's going by. but he does not seem to notice as you pass by. And so you make it past that door. The voice from the end of the hall is still filtering back to you like, all right, we just got one more of these to pack up here, pup. So if you can just get that one pushed over there, and then this one will go over here, we'll leave this one behind, and that should pretty much take care of all this stuff, okay? That'll pretty much take care of this, and then we're ready to ship it all out of here.
So Gunnar will continue on, and his actual goal is to find where Jeb's voice is coming from, but like he's trying to make it look like he's trying to find the fridge.
Okay. Roll a perception check. You don't need to roll a disadvantage. I think this is something that you could reasonably pull off.
13.
13. Okay. You notice a couple things. At the end of the hall, there is a doorless snack room on the right. It has a tiny little window. I mean, it's still mostly steel panels outside the building, so the windows are like little slivers and stuff that are kind of squeezed in wherever they go. But there's a tiny little window so you can pretend you're getting your vitamin D. There's a little snack machine. There's a fridge. The fridge is in perfect working order. The room is carpeted. It's got some nice chairs in it. It does seem like this is the most neglected room. Like there's, snack crumbs on the floor and, maybe a little bit of trash here and there. It's also coated in a thick layer of dust. You're pretty confident nobody uses this room like ever. And that it maybe is just here to look like a well-used break room. On the left is the big expansive office that I'm sure FP described to you when he came to meet with the vaults before. This one has a large frosted glass window on the outside of the tower. This is one of the few true windows on Summit Tower. It's a privacy window, but it's over there. And the inside of the room is a sort of scattering of boxes, and you are actually hidden behind them. There's a wall of boxes that has been arrayed on one side of the room that are perhaps to go out or something like that. They're loaded onto push carts and things like that. And then through them, if you kind of like stand on tiptoes or peek around the corner or whatever, there's also another stack of boxes that's further into the room. That stack of boxes is being loaded into the floor. There's like a trapdoor in the carpet that those boxes are being placed inside of. And working on this, there are 3 silver tongues, 3 shadow warriors, and a short figure facing away from you in a leather jacket and a pointy hat that's got a hole in it. I'm going to clear the tension pool.
So all in all, 7 people.
Wow. Yes.
Gunnar is going to thieves' hand signal to the rest of the group. He'll say, first idea that comes to mind is grab the little one, pull him out, toss a grenade, leave.
Well, if we want to distract the one guard, we could start banging hammers on things.
I don't know if that matters quite as much.
I believe we bopped the little guy first.
So, we go in, bop, run, explode.
I can bop him from here.
How?
My gun.
Gonna shoot him.
Bop!
Bop with a small metallic projectile.
Non-lethally. How much you think you're gonna hit him?
50 caliber.
Can you do it in the foot?
I am quite precise. I could shoot him non-lethally. It will hurt a lot. But as I understand, that is the desired effect, to break one's mind free.
I think you're right, but logistically, if you shoot him, isn't one of us gonna have to go in there, grab him, bring him out?
Yes, but if he is bopped, he could be on our side. Although it does occur to me,
he may be disoriented.
He does not recognize any of us, because he does not know
true.
any of us.
I'm sure if we just tell him we're with Fox, he'll come.
This is all gonna happen extremely fast. So, it's gonna be shoot, grab, immediately tell we're with Fox. Run, toss grenade.
I believe
some
we
more?
should interject a distraction into that as well. Perhaps, my little buddy, it's time for him to disconnect the battery.
Keep the lights
Distract,
out.
shoot, grenade, extract.
Perhaps. Think you might be right.
Barkley, I'm gonna go on another patrol. That way, he doesn't get on our case. I'll take the heat for this. I'm gonna go on a patrol so I can talk to people on.
They're using sign language, I think.
Yeah, you don't know
Yeah,
what
we
we're
are.
saying. We're
Well,
just
I
saying-
know.
Oh, okay. You
it's
just
been a
have something
while.
else to say? Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, Fox wanders off.
It would be much
Man,
easier to get the King of Diamonds if it weren't in the middle of the deck.
Whoa, maybe just maybe if I just gotten a King of Hearts instead, I would have won that game.
Could you give me a
Gunner's gonna-
translation of what you mean by that?
Maybe just go up to him and bop him, and we could, convert him and hopefully just make it look like an accident. Though I don't know how well Jeb's gonna take coming out of my control in the middle of that kind of scenario, but if you could just bop him and be like, "Oh, sorry, haha, drop my hammer."
DM, can we see in the room from where we're at?
No, you have to lean or
Okay.
look through little cracks in the stack of boxes and such.
Gotcha.
Gunner's
Yep.
gonna hand signal to FP don't talk too loud. That every time you speak out loud, even if it's quiet, there's a chance.
Affirmative. Can I peek and see what Jeb has on his person?
Sure. I'll give you two options. You can stay completely hidden and you can roll perception with disadvantage, or you can sort of move a couple boxes aside and kind of wedge yourself in where you're a little bit exposed, but you can roll a normal perception.
I'll do perception with disadvantage and remain hidden.
Okay.
Oh man,
What'd you
11.
No.
He's facing away from you.
He's probably got
So,
everything tucked under
All
his
you
coat.
can see is the hat poking up and the big coat that's kind of draped out onto the floor.
I guess I'll just have to leave the next card game up to fate. Good luck, guys. I don't know what situation you're in, but
All right, pups, that's about it for this haul. Let's go ahead and get this out to the elevators. Shadow creatures, you want to go ahead and clear the path for us? You hear footsteps.
Gunner's gonna sign. On my mark, I will. Cipher of light soon, then bop. That's Gunner's signal.
Bruiser will signal back. Maybe Shadows of Light or Warriors of Shadow Warriors will go before Jeb and we get him then.
Gunner will sign back. Yes, that's what I meant.
You hear some, and it's actually past you at the end of the hall. The three Shadow Warriors have teleported to the elevator or the verticulator area. They materialized either behind a little plant or in little shadowy corners. But the three of them materialize, or under a desk maybe, but they materialize out there, stand up, and they are looking towards the verticulators. They are not looking back at you. So now it's Jeb
Bob,
and three silver tongues.
Have they passed where we're hiding yet?
Not yet, but they're kind of swinging the carts into position and stuff. So they haven't seen you through the wall of boxes, but they're exactly opposite you, hands on the carts.
Okay, Gunner will assign. On my mark, I will light cipher them, and you guys bop and take care of them. Deal?
Affirmative.
Deal.
Gunner will count down 3, 2, 1 Mach. And then so what he's going to do is he's going to dash as fast as he can to get as close as he can to get like a good... Okay, how far away from each other are the shadow creatures? If he used a Cipher of Light, could he get all of them in the radius?
Yeah, it's a lobby. They're an immediate distance of each other.
Okay, so Gunner...
So one Cipher of Light could hit them all.
Gunner is going to toss, like, activate the Cipher of Light and toss it like a flashbang into their vicinity.
Okay. So you activate this bright Cipher of Light, you throw it into their vicinity. They go and kind of hiss and spin around, but they do not teleport. They seem to be like a little bit surprised, a little bit stunned. They have not taken an action.
Okay, his next move that he will want to do is start attacking them, like with at range right now with his short bow. But like if he's able to do that, like, yeah.
Gunner's going for the shadow creatures.
Yes.
Okay. What about the other two?
When he says that, Bruiser's running to Jeb and just gonna like bop him with his fist. On the head.
Are you going through the boxes? Like, because there's this wall of boxes in front of you. Are you like diving through it, or like how are you getting past them?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just gonna like knock boxes out of the way. You don't
Could
even
you
care.
fly
You're just
over
trying
it?
to get to Jeb.
Well, he's gonna. Well, yeah. Can I fly? Is there enough space to fly over?
You know what? Let's find out. Let's roll a tension die and ask. Yes, there's enough space to fly over. That is the 6th tension die, I think, so I will clear the tension pool. But yes, Bruiser, you are able to fly over the boxes. In fact, you're so swift about it that like even the three the three silver tongues don't, like, they notice you, but they don't have time to react or try and like snatch you out of the air or anything like that.
Yeah.
You fly over and look down at the pointy-hatted mole folk on the other side. FP, what are you doing?
I will pull my rifle out from under my uniform because I am very skinny and tubular, and my rifle is very skinny and tubular.
That's totally tubular, dude.
It's totally tubular, dude. And
yeah, dude.
I'm going to just like push the barrel in between a crack of two of the boxes, and kind of go and like push to the left and right to kind of like make an opening. I said left and right, left and right to make an opening.
The left and right.
The left and so we're hunting shadow creatures. I push my rifle in between the boxes and I push it left and right to make an opening. And when I see one, I'm gonna shoot it in the head.
Okay. I'm going to clear the tension pool first, and then we're going to resolve the 3 actions that are in progress here. So 4, 5, 6. 1 complication. So there is a complication here. Cleo, roll a d4. If it's a 4, re-roll.
Roll a 4 like 8 times.
I rolled a 4.
Re-roll.
I rolled a 4.
Come on, 6 more times. You got it. Break the world.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. The gunner is the one affected by the complication.
No.
I'm going to... Yeah, let's start with Gunner, because he's got the complication going on. So Gunner throws the flashbang to stun the shadow creatures. Then he runs towards the shadow creatures. You're hearing them hiss.
I meant like
Right?
run to get line of sight to shoot at them. Like not like all the way. Like it's like, all right, I'm barreling at you, but yeah.
All right, you're at the end of the hallway
Cool.
looking towards the shadow creatures. As you get to the end of the hallway, the door kicks open to that office that the silver tongue was in. Comes back out and says, I told you not to make any noise on it. What are you doing out here? And he draws a club from his side and takes a swipe at you. He rolled a 24.
Oof.
That hits.
That hits. He hits you for 9 points of damage.
I'm gonna use uncanny dodge to half that.
Yeah, you are. He hits you for 9 points of damage with the club, and he's going to use his bonus action disengage to step back from you, and that'll conclude that round of things. The next one we'll resolve is, well, we'll have to do these at the same time. Bruiser and FP62, you are doing a 2-part gambit to bop Jeb and hopefully knock out some of the silver tongues who are with him. Bruiser, you have flown over the boxes and you dive down towards Jeb. You have just enough time to realize as you barrel into Jeb and go straight through him that something's not right, as FP pushes the boxes to the side and feels his rifle stick to the boxes. the horde mimic lashes out with its pseudopod and grapples FP62. FP, you find yourself both adhered to the pile of boxes and taking bludgeoning damage. The bludgeoning damage attack roll is it's a lot. It definitely hits you. And that deals 12 points of bludgeoning damage. And you are grappled by the mimic with an escape DC of 16. Until this grapple ends, you are counted as restrained. Ability checks made to escape this grapple have disadvantage. Bruiser, you are you figured out that something's not right. You've disbelieved the illusion, and so you know that Jeb is not there. You know that the 3 silver tongues are not there. But at the same time as you're coming to your senses, you feel like a spray of fine mist kind of rush across you from the direction of the horde mimic, and you make a DC 14 dexterity saving throw.
Okay, here we go. That's a natural 20.
Natural 20. You do not take any damage, and you are not blinded. Good for you.
Yay.
And that brings us around to Bruiser, and it doesn't matter, or not Bruiser, to Gunner, and it doesn't matter what you do, your attack passes through the 3 shadow creatures because they are illusory. So you realize that they are also not there. In their place, you see a sort of like a fading down or a powering down of an image of some kind.
If Gunnar turns around, is the Silver Tongues guy from The Office, is he real?
Yes, he's real. He's still got his club out.
Gunnar, before he attacks anymore or something, he's gonna, like, gone bad. It's gone bad. It's gone very bad. And he's going to then, I guess, shoot an arrow at the Silver Tongues guy. Unless he's in melee range, then he'll slice at him.
Okay. He disengaged from you, so you'd have to step forward to hit him, but you can do either way. He's only like a couple feet away from you.
Okay, Gunnar will step forward and take out
Slice at him?
his sword.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hit him. Are you trying to knock him out or kill him?
Trying to kill him. I got a nat 20.
Okay, you kill him.
Okay.
He falls over dead on the ground. I think I told you this before, but in case I didn't chat, in the spirit of heists, there are lots of low health mooks and a handful of high hit point, like boss fight type things. One of those high hit point boss fight things has adhered to FP62, but it is FP's move.
Oh dear.
Fox does have a hand up. What's up, Fox?
DM, have obviously probably come back to the hut, and I'm sitting here with Barkley. Have we heard anything over the radio? Just
That was
Out of
the
curiosity.
Gunner.
It's gone bad. It's gone very bad.
I've heard gunners over my radio, but I meant over the security radio.
No, you've not heard anything over the security radio. Okay. I should have cleared the pool first. There we go.
Gunner, I don't think it's gone bad. We just fell for a ruse. There was no alarm triggered.
Not that we know of, but I think the people who want to know we're here, know we're here. Gunner. I mean, if we're depending on whatever the turn order is, Gunner's next move is going to be trying
it's
to help.
FP's turn.
Yeah.
It seems really quiet here, Barkley.
I'm gonna try my strength check to pull away from this thing, but it's not going to be very good. I am not a very strong robot, but I rolled really good. I rolled a 19. That's 23.
With a you are able to unstick your rifle and maybe some of your arm from the now no longer pile of boxes. Now it's just, all teeth and anger and acidic drool.
Okay, bonus action
as you
disengage
dislodge
and
yourself.
then move my entire distance to get away from it.
Okay, so you actually make it to Gunner at the end of the corridor. A carpeted corridor. You make it down to the end of it. So now Bruiser is alone behind the mimic, which has shot some kind of spray or mist or something at him.
Could I make my way toward, disengage towards the other two?
You would have to. Oh, I guess you could disengage across it. I see what you're saying. Yes. So you fly over it, use your disengage to avoid provoking the attack of opportunity, and then fly the rest of the way down the hall. Sure.
Yes.
You do that.
I believe that's the best a really bad situation has ever gone for us.
The mimic has turned back into a cart of boxes and is wheeling of its own accord towards you, ricketing down the corridor. Squeak, 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 squeak.
Reticulator.
As it rushes towards the two of you. Its wheels, scattering over the carpet as it builds up speed and momentum until it tries to ram into the group of you. I'd like a dexterity save from each of you.
Okay.
25.
DC to beat is... Well, that's high enough for
Wow.
sure. DC
The dice love me
DC to beat's a
tonight.
22.
That's another natural
Yes.
20.
Another natural 20.
Wow.
Dang,
16
you're
for
killing
me.
it. Bruiser not only gets out of the way, but is fast enough to snatch FP62 out of harm's way as the cart comes hurtling down the hallway. It slams into the wall, like where the reticulators are. It's made it the whole way to the end of the lobby and has actually dazed itself. It's stuck halfway between its cart image and its normal mimic body, and it seems to have adhered by accident to the wall, and it's kind of stuck there. It'll unstick itself in a round or so.
Well, let's bash it till it dies.
Or
Kick it while it's
do we
down.
leave?
What?
Do we go up a
What'd you say?
floor?
Well, let's. All right. I mean, yeah. Well,
Do we need to kill it?
how fast is it? Gunnar will put his obelisk in the reticulator thing. Be like, if it gets here fast enough, otherwise I'm down to just take it out. How fast does a reticulator get up here? Do we have any idea?
It's silent and smooth.
Okay.
You have no indication.
Okay,
You know it's moving, but you have no idea how.
Let's just kill it. Gunnar will take out his sword and start hacking at it, basically. At the mimic.
Okay, if all of you are attacking it, between the three of you, all getting a sneak. Well, you can't really sneak attack a mimic,
Well, we
but
can,
still, I think you all are
because we're
probably
in-
able to dispatch
Like
it.
our allies are nearby. Like we could flank it.
Flank.
I was mostly
Yeah.
thinking about whether a mimic has a vulnerable point to exploit. But that's fine. It, like I was saying, I don't think it actually matters. I think between the three of you, you're able to
Okay.
kill it. So you successfully kill the mimic, and as the mimic dies, the inside the sort of fake chest that a mimic, its normal shape looks somewhat like a treasure chest. Inside the body, you see a cipher that has been it's corroded and acided and destroyed. But you can barely make out the runes of major image on it.
I wouldn't count it out that.
We've been
yes,
fooled.
we've definitely been fooled.
Been bamboozled.
But I wouldn't count out the fact that the things that we definitely don't want to know we're here, they definitely know we're here.
They don't know that yet. They would have to come to this level to check.
I may not be superstitious, but I'm not dumb. They know we're here.
37th floor. And the doors open up. The elevator is empty that you summoned. Reticulator. Dang it. Wash broke me.
What floor do we want to try next?
I think we need to go to the 47th floor. And I will reiterate the description of what was on there. The 47th floor is an innocuous office building, but above it, there were some massive amounts of machinery, batteries, and artificery going on. A table that were all pointed at a table with something that I could not see on it. If we take the verticulator to the 47th floor, I could have my little buddy investigate a little closer. He was just at the max range previously.
Okay.
I mean, after what just happened, anyone's guess is as good as mine as to where we should go next. Let's try it.
Hey, Barkley. You have I've heard Pebbles has been up to the top penthouse. Have you been up there? Is the view good? He said there was good things about it, but he didn't tell me about the view.
Nah, I just work down here, man.
Don't send me up that verticulator. You think I got all day to stand around in a verticulator? I'm trying to sit.
There you go. That's fair enough. Smart guy, Barkley. Smart guy.
You know you got a bum leg.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is why I switched for the gate. But don't tell nobody.
we could go to the penthouse. That's another good spot. But if the laboratory is closer, might as well check that first.
I would like to use an ocean. While we're back at the table, drafting up the map and plotting out where different things are, Fox, we have these keys from Sir Topham Sav. When you're making your rounds, could you investigate to see if you can ascertain where they might be connected to?
I could try investigating, but I'm a little worried that, you know, if I personally go try using the keys, they might catch on to me.
No, not using the
But-
keys. Just determining if they go to anything here. Whether through
I could
rumors
try.
or through laying your actual eyes on. It would be a secondary objective.
Yeah. Let me give that a shot on my next shift.
Roll investigation with disadvantage.
Would this count as my ocean then?
No, we're still. Well, I don't know.
I'm
You
okay
can
with
decide
burning
whose
it.
ocean it is.
Even if he rolls the
Okay.
dice. Like, I'm okay with burning
Okay.
mine.
Ooh, 19.
A 19. Fox, you are not able to get into the penthouse.
Sure.
As the new guy, like there are rules about when the new guys can go to the sensitive floors, and you are just not new enough to go to the sensitive floors. But
Right.
you are able to hear rumors of some of the really like secure like vaults and safety precautions that are around the tower, because one of the things you have to do for your job is memorizing the layout and the security things that are in the
Right.
tower. And there's too many of them for you to know all of them, which is why you don't know them all right now. But
Sure.
you do pay extra close attention to where the lock boxes and vaults are within the tower. You know that there is there's a massive vault in the Summit Banking Guild's section of the tower. Remember, they've got 4 floors. Somewhere in there is a vault. The Bright World Company has a vault. Private Security Goon Central has a vault. Sir Topham Sav has a personal vault on the penthouse level. The hotel has a vault for like high value objects that guests don't feel safe keeping in their own rooms. And the accounting department has a vault. That's 5. You have no idea where the 6th key goes.
Okay, so just to clarify, that was hotel, Sir Topham's T-Savs, the Bright World Company,
The Summit Banking Guild
Summit Bacon Guild.
and Private Security Goon Central.
Okay, so each major company in the building.
Yes,
Gotcha. We don't know where the 6 go.
we do not.
Gotcha. All right.
And that costs 1 ocean. I'm going to take this opportunity to put us back in the group conversation screen here and give you guys a couple of low pressure moments where I'm not going to roll the tension die or anything for you to discuss what to do next, because both of you are at in-between points where Fox has worked out an easy way to get a way to talk to you, and the 3 of you are on a floor where everyone is dead, but it seems like no alarms have gone off. So I'm going to set a timer to let you discuss what you want to do next, because it's a big important heist. I'm going to set a timer of 5 actual minutes on my phone, and you can discuss away.
So we've taken the mimic chest and are hiding it in the abandoned break room.
I'm also going to step away real quick.
And while we're in there,
Yes.
we're kind of discussing things.
And we took the dead body and are hiding
Yeah.
it in the break room as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a couple leads, but I think we should try to all regroup.
This could be a multiple day heist. We could just leave and come back another day, another
Just gives
shift.
There
another
were some-
chance to
There were
prepare again.
significant documents tracking positions and locations of items of import in the room that silver tongue was in. It is no longer occupied. Perhaps we could inquire some information about vault item locations and potentially where Jeb might have hid them or have some sort of connection there. Again, there is also the 48th floor that had machinery of very great import. I do not like to think it, but perhaps they are doing something to Jeb.
I think those are all possibilities. I think the documents are a great start.
Will you allow me to talk freely with them during this, or should I still be wary?
I think Josh implied that you were there with us, that you were able to
That you're able
walk
to
around
talk
on your break, and that we all reconvened
Okay.
on this floor.
Okay. In that case, all right, guys. If we can figure out where to use one of these keys, maybe we can find some clues there. But you're right. I don't think it gets us closer to Jeb. I'm like stuck in my own head in this.
We knew this wasn't going to be easy.
I just didn't expect it to be so elaborately a juke like that. Like,
Yeah, I've never seen that level of illusion used on a job before.
Neither have
it's
I.
even in the tower. If they knew
Yes.
that there was a possibility we would be here, and thus left an illusion to lure lure us to him, there's a
Well, they had no way of knowing which floor we'd go to.
still. Why would they?
So they had to have set up several of these like illusionary areas.
I think it's possible that they knew that this floor would be a go-to because we knew we knew that this is where they took the previous vault's things.
Yeah, it is what he is assigned to.
I mean, for all we know, Jeb might not even be here.
That's
anymore.
it sounds
what I'm
like
trying
that's
to
what
get
you're
at.
saying, yeah.
What are the chances are that the batteries are a decoy as well to alert the 47th floor? If it is something that we
I see
would
what
be,
you're saying.
it is out in the open, very plain and easy to get to, and it's something that we could have sabotaged in the past at other places.
Then we're already compromised.
I'm back.
No. I get what you're saying. We're trying to think one step ahead, Bruiser. So,
But we already investigated those.
No,
That's
he
not what we're
means
getting
if we
at.
destroy any batteries, then they'll immediately know it's us.
but they'll think that we were destroying the batteries, so they probably wired them to send a message. That's what he's getting at. That's what FP's getting at. So, if that's the case, then let's skip destroying the batteries as they think that we'll fall into. Because right now, I'll be honest, we haven't really shown the most. Kind of blundered through a lot of our jobs.
I believe we are trusting too much.
We have an MO at
We
this
must
point.
distrust everything and think that everything is a trap.
So I think it's
At this point, it is.
worth trying to investigate those 3 floors because they're all conjoined. But how to get to them? Because I mean, approaching any one of those floors from the front is going to be a hassle. I mean, you guys with your current disguises, depending on what kind of notification system they had set up on this floor, you might be able to still keep going with these disguises for a short time. Maybe we can check out those 3 floors by you guys entering in through the office level. And there's a stairwell in the back that connects those floors. I don't know, maybe we can
Perhaps-
figure out something with that.
Perhaps we need to set a distraction they would not anticipate, or that they did not prepare. Bruiser, could you set an explosive on this floor? And maybe we could use it as a way to trick them into thinking that we fell for the mimic trap, thus diverting their attention here while we sneak elsewhere.
I think I would be the one you'd want to do that, but yeah, I think we could do that.
I thought
Yeah.
I said gunner. I am sorry.
No, it's all right.
We sound
I mean,
similar.
voices wise we don't, but name wise, yeah.
Well, you look different, Gunner. I did it again.
I mean, I could use my disguise voice if you want, but I don't think that's very.
How much longer
interesting.
does your disguise last?
Well, it lasts for a whole hour, and we know it's been at least 20 minutes.
You got about 30 minutes left.
We're about halfway done.
Very good.
Maybe set the explosive as a last-ditch resort to pull attention away, but I don't know. I think the longer we can go,
That's kind of our
the
MO.
longer
It doesn't matter where it
we
is
can
necessarily.
go without bringing attention that anything is wrong, I think the better.
Chat says maybe there's a way to do the pickpocket trick where you make it look like you have the prize so they check and see if it was taken. And then you see them check their pockets. Also, we're back to the passage of time mattering, which is why I'm rolling.
That's a
touch
fun idea, Chad.
We
Bruiser,
could disguise one of you.
you are
Yes.
the same size as Jebediah.
Relatively.
Close enough that you wouldn't be very large like Fox was when he mimicked his shape. Perhaps we could disguise self on you.
Gunnar would like to use an ocean. So, back when Gunnar was selecting his ciphers and his loadout for this adventure, Gunnar, snagged a disguised self cipher. He looked at it, put it on his belt. And then he thought for another second and was like, well, if I need a big disguise, perhaps I'll need to refresh it again if we take a long time, or perhaps we run into a situation where we need to change disguises. So, I'm just gonna grab another one just in case, and if I need to pay for it, that's fine.
Is this replacing something else in your loadout?
If I need to pay for it, that's fine.
All right, it's replacing something else in your loadout.
No, I mean if I need to pay money.
I know, but unless you don't have two other ciphers,
Gotcha.
like you have 3 slots.
And
for
if I need to
carry.
toss away a cipher of
Well,
silence,
he has
then
a
that's
loot
fine.
slot,
Oh.
right? He has loot
That's
slots.
true. You could put the loot slot. You could use it there.
And if I have
DM.
to use a loot slot, that's fine.
DM,
Spend 1 ocean.
what are the ciphers that are on that, or are there any ciphers on that silver tongue body that we have in the room here with us?
2 ciphers of major image remain.
Ooh. Yoink.
We can do
And
some fun
yoink.
with that.
I was wondering if you were ever going to investigate the body.
Is there anything else on him?
Could
Aside from the club?
No.
Can Bruiser go back to the room he was in and investigate that room?
Sure. All of the drawers and the papers in it are illusory. The silver tongue was lying exclusively in wait for you lot.
Okay.
Oh, dang, this is good.
Well, I do have another cipher of disguised self.
And as he says that,
you find
FP
one other
like bends
thing.
over
You
and
find
he's
one
like,
other thing in there. The
do
other
I
thing you
find?
find in there is a radio, like a communication cipher, the same one that the security guards are carrying. It was sitting
Okay.
on one of the
I'm-
desks.
I'm gonna take it and just hold on
Okay.
to it. Maybe hear chatter if anything comes up.
Is Fox up with us, or is Fox still down below?
Yeah, when you said we were kind of confused of like, you
Oh,
meant,
I just meant Fox down below on the guard shift can always be like, I'm going to go do another round, and like walks out like you were doing before to talk to them.
Okay, so I'm still just talking through the earpiece, not actually
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
him. Okay. That's good to know.
I hold up one of the ciphers and I say,
Hmm.
I have found Jebediah Peppermint.
Oh. Well,
Oh,
That
yes,
works.
you have.
and I get to use my disguise longer if I want.
As a reminder, the duration of major image is only 10 minutes.
That is correct.
Wait. Then if that's the case, then how was it?
The guy recognized us.
Well, no, we heard the sound right when we opened the door.
But they knew we were coming up.
How did they know?
What happened
How
to those
vivid
shadow
was-
warriors?
They disappeared as well.
They were part of the
Oh,
illusion.
okay.
They were illusion.
I get the feeling that they've...
Could I investigate the viticulator again for any surveillance devices?
You sure can. Roll investigation. Fox, as you're returning from your most recent building round that you do, your comrade, who I believe you named Barkley,
Yes.
Barkley says, You've been doing an awful lot of rounds for a guy who's got a limp.
Well,
I don't know that. What are you really up to, man?
Barkley, if you want me to be honest with you,
That's exactly what I want.
Vars gave me a chewing out when I asked for this. Now that I realize he might be checking in once in a while, well, I told him that I needed it. I wouldn't keep the job if I didn't really figure something out with the bum leg. So my physical therapist said that I need to exercise and walk more often, and if I want to keep this job, then gosh darn it, that's what I'm going to have to do. And I'd rather walk around a couple buildings, just a couple of times every once in a while, rather than having to do a patrol all night.
That's a pretty good excuse. Roll your deception.
Do I get advantage?
No.
Okay.
He's still suspicious.
That's pretty
He's
good
Still
for a
suspicious.
It's a
Liar.
non-nat 20.
Physical therapy, huh? Yeah, it's pretty much what my PT tells me to do for my knee as well. All right, whatever.
If you want, we
And
can
then
take turns.
He lets it pass. We cut back up to 3, the crew of 3, the trio, if you will.
I got a 17 on my investigation.
There's no surveillance devices that you can see that are in the room or mounted to the reticulators.
Okay. How did they? Maybe it was outside.
Whatever it was, they knew they were coming. They knew we were coming.
Maybe it was proximity activated.
Perhaps just they knew that the next person to enter would be us. Maybe.
Or maybe it was on a loop.
Maybe they just know who enters and when.
Well, that's not good for us, is it?
I don't
Does
know.
the Silver Tongue have?
No, it's not good for us at all.
Does the Silver Tongue have a ruby ID?
Yes.
I take it.
Okay.
Perhaps we can use this to move through the reticulators for the time being.
That sounds good.
So what floor?
Well, we want to make sure.
When you step into the... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
We want to make sure wherever we go, that will be visible. That our illusion is that we have. Well, okay.
DM. I would like to walk into the reticulator and jack into the panel with the numbers on it.
Okay. That makes sense.
Can I
roll... What are you trying to do?
Can I ascertain if it's possible for me to control whether it starts and stops? Like, could I stop this between floors?
You could stop it between floors while it was in motion, but you wouldn't be able to, like, I want to go to floor blah. Like, you can just, on and off, basically.
Right.
If that makes any
Like,
sense.
I could
you have
essentially
to
hit the
start it with a
emergency
red-
stopper, like the pause.
Yes. You could start it with the red obelisk and then stop it at some point.
Okay. What if we get in the verticulator and approach the 48th floor? I will stop the verticulator between floors, and we can recon with the spider to see what is going on in that area.
Okay.
Then we can choose whether we take the bottom, middle, or top floor, the 47th, 48th, or 49th. There are potential possibilities on the boring office floor underneath on the 47th, but that gives us some room for flexibility and spying on traps.
And it sounds like, to me, if we have this illusion, we use it to appear as though we have Jeb. Like, we get into a spot where they can pretty easily see us, so we can be spotted.
Or
are you disguising me, or are we using nature?
What if
damage?
we lob What if we lob a gunner special into the floor, cause a distraction, and then create an image of us and Jebediah leaving into the verticulator and going down. But we stay behind.
And we stay behind and we stay hidden by our own skills or by...
Yes. In the distraction of the
Skill.
gunner special.
All right. I mean... on this floor here?
It will last 10 minutes. But it can happen instantly. So I say we assess the
Clear
situation
attention
first.
pool for the passage of time.
Well, Bruiser,
So...
I will
Yes.
hand him one of the major images, one of the major image ciphers.
Okay.
I do not understand the ways of social interaction, so I will give this to you. Perhaps we could send ourselves and Jeb into the floor to confuse them. You can control this, sight and sound and motion, when it is in play.
You want them to just. You want the images of us to go through the floor or into the verticulator?
I am having a hard time conveying what I am thinking. We either cause a distraction and cause an image to make it appear like we are escaping, or what if we send an image of us and Jeb into... No, that is not good. I do not know. I need help with this idea.
I was thinking. So my thought when we were talking about this was, we go up, cause distraction, then we use the image to go into the verticulator, and we send it down. But we stay behind, hiding, and see what they do and their reaction.
Yes, I think that was what I originally thought until I complicated it. I think you are correct. I think simple is better.
And my question is, are we doing that on this floor, or are we doing that on one of the upper floors that we were just talking about?
We will do it.
I
We
think
will
an
do it
upper
in the
floor-
verticulator once we get some intel from my little buddy.
Yes.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. Fox, what are you thinking about that? All of that. Are you still down there?
Pretty,
It would be
quiet
a
out
good
here,
time for you
Barkley.
to join.
Do you mind if I go use the bathroom?
I do not. Whatever makes you ready.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage. Because you've been going on so many building rounds, it seems like it would be obvious. You could just go on a building round. Man, this guy's rolling really poorly.
Old Barkley.
I rolled lowly, but lowly is still a 21.
Yeah, Barkley just doesn't have it. Whatever it is, Barkley doesn't have it. He's like,
It's the night
yeah,
shift.
go ahead, I got you, whatever.
Thank you. I might be. Well, I'm sorry. Whew, yeah. All right. I'll. Not time to explain, and I'm just gonna run off to the bathroom.
Sure.
Where is the bathrooms normally at? Like, where's the main
there's
break
one-
area?
So there is a floor that is like the break room.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, there is a floor that is the bathroom. It's just the whole
No,
floor.
There's a break room
That's the
floor.
second
It's got like
floor.
a cafeteria, a little game room, a lounge area with some couches and stuff. Some cheap snacks, like the powdered donuts that are not from any brand.
Oh, donut.
that
Tube
kind of
donuts.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go to the break room first.
sure. You go to the break room and I roll. Well, actually, you can have the complication I rolled when I cleared the tension pool. You head up to the break room, and as you walk into the break room, you see let's see here. It's hard to. Some of these complications are not quite as applicable to every situation as I thought they
Oh
were.
no!
So I'm just trying to figure out how
Chocolate
to make
donuts that
this fly.
stick to the paper.
Yeah, really.
Man, this break room's really foggy. I can't really see who's in here.
You walk
It's
into the
apple
break
cats.
room and you're because you're a slightly different size for your disguise. Your leg kind of trips you up because your one leg doesn't change sizes. So even though it might, you might be standing or posturing in such a way where it looks like it's
Right.
normal, it isn't. And
I trip like
kind of
heading out the elevator on the lip.
yeah, you trip
Okay.
heading out of the verticulator and you kind of fall and don't catch yourself very well, and everybody looks over at you. You also take 2 hit points of damage.
God's above.
Yeah, all right there.
Fuck verticulators. I look up who's. I'm sorry. I just had the mental image. I'm not sure if you know the meme of like the little frog kid falling over this McNuggies on the ground and looking up. But I just had that image. How many
donuts.
people are like. What kind of rank? What kind of people are looking down on me right now? Should I be showing respect, or are these like same?
There's like 14 or 15 people of a variety of ranks, and for the benefit of this scene, I would like the other 3 players to also play unimpressed, like other workers in this room who just watch you fall.
Fucking fucking verticulators. Am I right?
Watch your step.
Mind the gap.
Did you just not train at all?
No, I just got
Who's the
really
dumb noob
unfortunate.
guy?
All right.
Watch out.
Right?
Lame.
Must be his
Your
first
Velcro's
day or
untied.
something.
Oh, it's all right. Very funny. Very funny. Okay, like none of you have ever tripped down
Nope,
some
never
stairs
once.
in your life.
Never.
Nope.
Never.
Done it. Haven't tripped.
You've never tripped.
What's a stair?
I'm the tripper, not the
Look
trippy.
at
know
us.
what? Never
We're the
mind.
untripped ones
I
now.
came here for a reason, and that was for some peace and quiet in the bathroom, and that's what I'm gonna go do.
Don't
That's
be
the only
tripping.
place you're gonna find peace and quiet here.
Don't
He's gonna come out wet, boys.
don't go to the bathroom here.
Oh my god.
Hope it comes out peacefully and quietly.
I don't know why, but just Jake's like, like after every line. Fucking verticulators, fucking trip, fucking. I'm gonna just head to the bathroom in a huff.
It's gotta be hard being old, not getting used to new tech.
Yeah.
You don't know how easy you have it these days, so.
Yeah, no, not falling down. It's really hard.
Okay, Fox, you eventually go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Congratulations.
I once I'm done using the bathroom, I'm gonna head back to the elevator and see you forsaken another day, perhaps. And I'm gonna hit the elevator button, but instead of going down, I'm gonna go up.
Okay.
Once I'm inside.
You go up. And assuming the other group waited for you, you meet up with them on the 37th floor,
Yep.
where a dead mimic is kind of stinking up one corner, and that's pretty much it.
I guess I could be your escort. Should you need one.
Why are you using your character voice?
Sorry, it's
we
like
can
a
be
little bit of
ourselves over
method
here.
acting. Method acting, you know.
I mean, you don't see me talking like I can't even do it
Oh,
right
there
now.
he is.
Well, you know, it just it helps me. You do you, I'll do me. You know.
You heard our plan, right, Fox?
Yes, I've heard the plan.
Why is the front of your boot scuffed?
It's not a big deal. You know how boots are. They get scuffed.
I do not wear
It
boots.
happens.
Well,
No, I don't.
most of the time.
Listen, it's not important.
Sometimes my
don't-
rocky toes get scuffed, but it's not. Yeah, it's not important.
Yeah, it's not important. Anyway, unrelated. So, do we perhaps want to go up to then the 48th? Maybe stop it just outside of it, and maybe see what's there before we commit to anything.
Yeah,
That is
Yep.
the plan.
That's the
let's
plan.
do it.
All right.
You said you knew the plan.
Well, it made it sound like you guys were gonna just go do it. So
We were
saying
going to
maybe-
do the plan, yes.
maybe we do scouting before we commit to the plan.
Yeah,
All right,
that
everybody.
That was
in
part
the
of the plan.
elevator.
Yes, there was the caveat that we would scout
Well, I'm
first in
saying
case the
we
plan
might cancel
was
the
a bad
plan.
idea. Yes, that was part of the plan.
It's all part of the plan. You're right.
Just to
All according to
I
plan.
like that we pretend that we planned these.
just to reiterate the plan, so that we are all on the same page. We are going into the verticulator, up to the 47th
Yes.
floor, where I will stop it in between floors. Then I will do some reconnaissance
Yes.
with little buddy to get some more information.
Yes.
But if all goes well, the idea is that we will exit the verticulator, cause a gunner special as a distraction, and then cast major image from the cipher to cause us to leave and go down, or to appear to leave and go down the verticulator while we hide.
Yes.
Yes, see, Fox, that was the plan.
All right, let's just get in the elevator, will we?
What's an
Sorry,
elevator?
He did it
Articulate.
as well. Maybe I picked
Bruiser
it
have
from you.
advantage. Or inspiration, I mean, for Bruiser.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna. I'm excited.
DM's really serious about his vernacular. That is vernacular.
Vernaculator.
Articulator vernacular. Okay, are you using your obelisks or the silver tongue
the
obelisk?
silver tongue obelisk.
Silver
I don't
tongue.
get it, and I also I forgot to, we were talking about the plan, but the silver tongue obelisk does look different than ours, so I think it's
Does it?
a better option. Yeah,
How different does it look?
Oh,
I
man.
don't know. Let me double check.
It looks like yours, except the tornado that like is sort of frozen in the center. It's missing parts, like a spiral staircase that's fallen into disrepair, and different pieces of it are missing. It's like there's some dots that are kind of spread throughout it instead of the full height.
Yeah,
DM.
weirdly, it actually looks worse.
Yes.
Can I analyze the pattern of the missing dots and see if there's like some encoded binary in it? Is there?
It looks like maybe it's choosing which floors it's keyed to.
Oh. Interesting. It looks like it is keyed to specific floors. Are ours keyed to every floor?
Yours are keyed to 100 floors.
Interesting.
There are 101.
Can I tell where the missing floor is?
From yours?
Yeah.
The tornado is complete, so it's either at the bottom or the top.
Hmm.
Does it appear the silver tongue one has access to the extra one on the top or bottom?
Sure does.
Is it the top or the
Well,
bottom?
At the top.
It's at the top.
It's at the top.
I assume that would be the penthouse. Maybe that's the more fitting option.
Well,
This
at
does
any
make
rate,
me
we
wanna
need more
reconsider.
information. Let us use this verticulator and scout around and see if we can find more intel.
All right. Maybe
Yes.
first we investigate those 40-something floors, and then maybe...
Whoa,
Is this one keyed to
We can
47?
scout every floor, right? If we just move the verticulator, but never let it stop at a floor.
Yeah.
Correct. That is part of the plan.
I think scouting the whatever that secret top
We could do that
floor
for the whole
is-
building.
Yeah.
So long as my little buddy can transfer between the floors.
Yeah, as a reminder, you're down to like 20 minutes left on the
All
disguise
right.
self that is in action.
Well, I got a second one, so don't
And you
even
don't
worry
need
about
it while we're in the verticulator.
True. So, what I'm saying is, first we scout out those 40-something floors. Then, I think no matter what, we should try to scout out, if we can, the secret top floor.
All right. And I hit number 47 while we're all in the elevator.
Which obelisk?
Verticular.
Verticulator.
Does the Silver Tongue obelisk have access to the Bright World Company floors?
Too hard to tell from like the ones in the middle because they're spread out. It's hard to tell exactly which ones are missing or there.
At the risk
Well,
of
but if you just-
at the risk of pushing a floor that it is not keyed to, maybe we should use ours.
Maybe that's how they do, is which key we used.
How they track us?
you get the sense in the back of your mind that you're really overthinking the dangers that this other obelisk might present, and that perhaps it could be used more functionally as a clue.
Well, you gave us a mimic, so we're paranoid about everything.
Yeah, okay. Here's what I think. This obelisk has access to the secret floor that we don't have. I think that means more than likely we're not supposed to get to the secret floor. So, all of that to say, let's go to the secret floor.
Okay. If you can move your little buddy up. Sorry.
Are we abandoning the plan?
No, the plan is to scout as step 1, and that's what we're still doing.
I'm going to instruct my little buddy to try and get closer. Like, I'm not looking through him. I can give him a command. I'm going to instruct him to climb up and see if he can get up in the corner of a ceiling, like up out of the way somewhere, and get a vantage point on that table and the artificery and like that stuff.
Yeah, it confirms that it has done so.
Okay. Like, I want him to stay there. Like, just, I'm going to go there, and we're going to drive by, and I'm going to look through his eyes and see what's there when we go by.
Sounds great.
Right,
so we're heading to the top floor
then.
Floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You're heading to the top floor, and on the way past, you get a little glimpse through the eyes of your spider friend.
I mean, we can pause there to watch.
Okay. I mean, that's fine, too. I'm going to give you the whole glimpse. I'm not going to... Yeah. Okay. You're going to see all the things that you see. You see... Okay. So there is 3 large tables, as you saw from beneath. Only one of the tables has anything on it, and the other 2 tables, it actually looks like all of their machinery has been equally sort of cannibalized to add into the machinery over just the one table in the center. That was the wrong button. Ignore that tension die. We'll just clear them. That's supposed to be this. Okay. So all of the power has been drawn to the center, to this central table workspace thing, and a bunch of artificers and engineers are gathered around it with notes and different ciphers in their hands and specialty tools. And at the center of the table is a cloth wrapping that has been peeled back to reveal a small baton carved of ivory that is laying on the table. And it seems like all manner of destructive energy is being moved towards it. These artificers are attempting to destroy the small baton that is laying on the table. You can see fire and smoke and thunder and all kinds. They've got their hearing protection on and their safety glasses and some blast shields that have been moved into place and things like that. And from what you can see, this round of the experiment has been building up for some time. There's a lot of scrapped plans and things that have been thrown about the room. But they seem like they're getting to the point now where they're clearing up debris around the table, which to you looks like maybe they are getting ready to run another round of the experiment. And that's what you see. This is it.
Oh, dear.
It's 2 stories, but it's actually 1 floor. Like, it's just 20 feet tall instead of 10 feet tall.
Oh dear. It appears they have a piece of the rod of 7 parts. And they are trying to destroy it by inflicting it with all sorts of destructive cipher-based magic. And it appears that they...
Are you sure it's not a mimic?
I don't think the ruse is that thick.
It's bigger than 20 feet. So, it's not major. I guess it could be a mimic. It's not major image.
We do not know. But that is what I saw in there. It seems like these floors are large and connected too.
So, it sounds to me, priority 1, extract Jeb. Priority 2, extract Rod.
I don't know, guys. This... I don't know.
What do you not know?
One of the radio obelisks, I guess 2, you have 2 now, both of them.
It looks like one of the reticulators has stuck or jammed up or something about halfway up the building. Can we get someone from maintenance up there?
And then a few seconds later, yeah, I'll get rid of that.
Gunner, let them know that we are already dispatched to take care of it.
Actually, we have already gotten onto the verticulator. We were actually, us maintenance workers here were actually on when it was stopped. We are currently on the case, working on the problem now. We'll check in soon when we have fixed it.
What are you doing up that high in the tower? It looks like from our paperwork here that you were sent to the 37th floor.
Well, that was part of the malfunction, is it actually started going up, which was not exactly what we intended it to do. So
good.
we'll get it fixed.
Roll deception with advantage.
was the best
That's
argument
really good. That was so clear. Or so clean. That's what I'm trying to say.
26.
Well, we're glad you're on the elevator, the reticulator then, and you should go ahead and take a look at that. And if you can get that reticulator working, go ahead and take that thing back down to the ground floor for us. We'll decommission that one. We got 3 others, and that way we can pull that one out and make sure there's nothing wrong under the hood.
Will do. Thank you much.
Great
Now we have to
save.
switch
Wow.
reticulators and then send this one to the ground floor and then switch.
Negative.
You might be able.
I say we keep
can-
going up as the diagnostic process.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's broken, it's going up, so.
We will just make short stops to make it look like we're fixing it.
Yeah, I think that works.
Fox, as one of the founders, you were saying something. You are looking for these rods, correct? This is a company goal.
That's the problem, right? These rods, they're potentially the key to ridding the world of these aboleths.
Then it would make sense that this is priority 1.
But if we don't get Jeb now, we might never get a chance to get Jeb again.
What about the rods?
I know about the rods, okay? I'm just...
If we
This also might be the only chance to get this piece
correct,
of the
if
rod.
we get Jeb and we do not get the rods, does it matter?
It matters to me, damn it. It matters to me.
I mean,
What
when,
would Jeb
when you're in
want?
this business, I think your crew, the people you pull these jobs with, you know, at the end of the day, that's what matters, you know. So I don't want to step on any toes or step on any bounds, but
Sea Gunner's
I
got my
think-
back.
I think Fox is right. I think you save the crew,
I
and when you have
look,
the right
they've been-
crew, you can pull anything off.
They've been experimenting on it for who knows how long. I bet that thing's nearly indestructible.
I mean, I could probably destruct it, but you know, they probably couldn't.
Well, I hope to God you can, because then that means they'd have less of a chance of doing so, and
Hey,
I'm just saying.
you're the leader, Fox. This is your call. Don't let my interruption or
We'll mark the floor
personal
down.
feelings affect your
Mark
decision.
the floor down. If we can't find Jeb, it's at least something we can take with us. Right? It's a win we can get out of this. And maybe Jeb's not even here, but I came here for Jeb. I didn't come here to find rods, to fight the aboleths. I came here for Jeb. Now, if I have to get the rod to get to Jeb, that's different, but obviously that's not the case. So let's just keep going.
All right, your call.
Yes,
Let's
this
keep going.
responsibility is solely upon you as our founder. We will respect your decision.
All right,
Let's
let's.
see.
Fox, take an inspiration.
All right,
All
well,
right, what?
once we head up,
Are we going
I'll
straight
check
to the
that.
top
I'll-
floor, or are you doing other things? Like, I know you're stopping at intervals to make it look like you're working on the
I say,
articulator, but-
and Gunnar will do his little nerdy voice on the intercom to like kind of communicate with the other maintenance people about it.
Sure. You rolled really well.
Thanks.
We don't need to RP that.
I
Okay.
am going to
Yes.
activate the cipher for my find familiar. Hit a little button,
Okay.
and the spider is going to boop wink out of existence and poof, wink up onto FP's shoulder and crawl under his armor plate.
Can I reflavor that a little bit visually? The cipher kind of splits into parts that don't fall or rain onto the ground or anything like that. It's maybe in some conduit, and a new one sort of materializes out of the cipher, like almost like the Iron Man suit, like the nano suit.
Okay.
Coming over, it's like another one kind of like kind of grows out of the cipher.
Sure.
And that's what happens. Okay, so you eventually make it up to the 101st floor. The reticulator, in perfect working order, arrives at the 101st floor and ding, floor 101. And it swings open, and you are buffeted in the face by heavy rains. The roof is in front of you. The smokestacks on top of Summit Tower are belching smoke into the air. What's weird is that you don't smell any of it. And in fact, upon further investigation, they turn out to be illusory. There is also a large pillar reaching out of the center of the roof with a spiral staircase that's kind of winding around it, almost like a dock for an airship of some kind. But there is no airship here at the moment.
Well, you think, I think we know what this is for.
Can I see the airship from
No.
here? Okay.
I'll have Owlin keep an eye on this spot, but maybe we don't want to go outside of the elevator in case they are watching it. But
Do you think, you think Jeb's on the ship?
I think it's
It could be.
a good chance. We might. Do we? No.
Do we want to wait for the ship?
Do we set an ambush for when the ship gets back?
Or do you want to go to some other part of the tower?
Let's go to the other part of the tower. I'm gonna send Owlin up here just to keep an eye on it. And if we hear the ship's coming back, maybe we can come up. If we haven't already run out of time.
Well, what's another part of the tower? Like what? Just back to where the rod is? Or what else? Where else are we going?
Was there anything else of note? I mean, we can try checking for these vaults, right?
I say Topham Sav's private vault.
Let's see if he's home.
Are there windows on his floor?
Yes.
Perhaps we
Before we
surveil
go
the
then-
windows before we go down to his floor.
I'm gonna go ahead and send a message to Owlin to come up.
Owl Lin is 10 feet out of range.
Okay. Maybe we can stop it just before the penthouse.
Sure.
Below the penthouse. I'm out of range. I had dropped him off somewhere.
I
just in
will.
case we needed him outside.
I'm going to let my little spider buddy out onto the roof,
Okay.
and just tell him to stay there and let me know if a large ship comes flying by,
Great.
and we will proceed down.
Great. So are you going to Sir Topham Sav's floor, or are you going low enough to call Owl in and then waiting for a little recon?
Yeah, we're gonna go down to Owl.
Later. Yeah.
Or
Okay.
yeah, recon.
You only need to go down to like just beneath the floor. So you probably stop it in the middle again. You hear a radio go, "Hey, that was down that time. Good work."
Yep, progress is progress. We'll let you know when we're getting closer.
You need to make a character with this voice. Like I need more of this voice.
I just
on a
want the
regular basis.
soundbite "progress is progress." That's a good one for the little soundboard. Okay, so you summon Owlin, and Owlin is a teeny little owl 1,000 feet away. So it takes a little while for Owlin to fly up. So we're gonna add a die to the tension pool for the passage of time while you're stuck there. And then Owlin does do a pass around the windows of Sir Topham Sav's 100th floor penthouse suite.
Mm-hmm.
The windows are the entire length of Summit Tower. So there's one floor or one wall, the wall with the verticulator, that is solid steel, and then the other three in like a U shape are just glass.
Right.
It's reinforced glass, and It's got like some steel supports that kind of go through the middle of it, but it is still like floor to ceiling windows, which is great for you. Your owl is having a look through those windows into the penthouse suite, and there's a number of rooms. Like, it's open concept, but there are a number of different rooms in there. It's just sort of the things you would expect to see in a penthouse. You know, there's like a kitchen and you know, a living room area and stuff like that.
Oh, he lives
but
here.
it is furnished luxuriously. Among other things, you see an owlbear rug. There's a construct that exists for the sole purpose of making different versions of like coffee that is installed in the kitchen. There's, you know, basically everything is automated smart home. It's got lighting that mimics the passage of the sun and moon. So like there's a moon that's on the ceiling of the penthouse that's kind of moving across, and it's even with the moon outside. So it's casting the same sort of dim moonlight in the room. The bed is this huge 4-poster. It's like 2 California Kings. And it's got this, you know, big soft mattress on it. There's a number of fine pieces of art on the wall. There's a few ciphers that you're not sure exactly what they do. They're just kind of installed into the wall or into the counters, where they're probably general home convenience things, but you can't be sure. There's a brass bugle, so he has his news literally piped directly into his penthouse. There's it's not quite a cage, but it's almost like a doghouse, but it's like 20 feet by 15 feet. And inside it, resting casually, you know, its chest rising and falling as it sleeps,
It's a perfectly peaceful house cat.
It is the biggest crab you've ever seen. Like, it is bigger than huge.
Crab.
It is bigger than giant. It is a huge giant crab that is resting in there. And there's just next to that is a small like box of, it says crab food on it, but it's been handwritten. And that box looks like its own cage, like for, you know, live feeding or whatever the huge giant crab eats. There's also a copper band that is wrapped around one of the claws of the huge giant crab. What else do you see in this room? He's got a ceiling fan, but the ceiling fan is like levitating, so it moves to wherever the person in the penthouse is, and it just stays over them and circulates air. And you also see there are 2 doors that lead back towards the verticulator, but they're not like they don't go to a verticulator. They're on that wall. 2 doors that you can't see through. So the potential spots for a safe, to recap, are behind the fine art installations, underneath the counters, underneath the rug, or through those 2 doors towards the verticulators. And it's likely, and even, you know, it's possible and even likely that those things exist. Sir Topham Sab is not home. It seems like maybe nobody is home.
All right, guys. We got to be quick about this. Which ones do you think we should check? I'm thinking the doors next to the verticulator.
Me too.
I mean, yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
All right. Then let's head up there.
Operation Crab is a go.
You can tell him we thought we were onto something, but all of a sudden it went up a floor or something. I don't know. You've been really good at it. You'll figure it out.
I'll try something.
That's back the wrong way.
Yep, well, it's, you know, the buttons seem to reverse themselves at this point. We're trying to get them back to the way they are. Well, you'll see some progress here soon. Sorry about this.
Have you tried just pulling the panel off and doing it with like tapping into the wires themselves?
Well, yeah, I meant the virtual buttons. You know, it's the controls that they're connected to and stuff.
Maybe you've got a faulty obelisk.
That's possible.
Yeah, try pulling the panel off there.
All right. Well, that next step, I'll let you know.
I will stay inside
Floor
the verticulator.
100.
And the verticulator doors open.
I'm gonna step out and just look around.
You see what I've described to you already.
Okay, but nothing moves.
Nope.
I'm going to stay close to the wall and go to one of the doors next to the verticulator.
I'm going to start removing the verticulator panel.
Okay. You get to the door.
I'm right behind Fox.
I'm going
Okay.
to check the door for traps.
Oh, are you? Roll an investigation.
Gunnar is gonna just be a general keep watch, like watch the crab kind of
10.
guy.
10, is that what you said?
Yep.
Should you roll a 2?
Oh, come on, Fox.
You do not identify any traps on the door.
Well, identifying traps takes investigation, and that's I didn't spec in an investigation. Okay, I'm a charisma rogue. So all right. I'm going to gingerly making sure just to touch it with my fingertips, the edge of the doorknob, and see if anything happens.
Nothing happens.
Keeping my palm well away from the center of the doorknob and using just my fingertips, I'm going to slowly start rotating the doorknob until something clicks or happens.
The doorknob continues rotating until you have extended your arm so far that you're like making a weird elbow circle around it and just keeps spinning. It never clicks.
I'm going to instead just pull on the door until I hear a click.
Make a dexterity save.
Damn it! Okay, well, at least I spec'd into this. That's going to be a 24.
24. All right. 3 things happen at once. Firstly, Bruiser, you are knocked out of the way as Fox leaps backwards. Fox, just in time, not only is leaping out of the way, but knocks Bruiser to the floor. So you're both laying down when the wall of fire shoots out of the door. As that happens, you also hear your 2 radios come to life. We've got a perimeter breach in the penthouse suite and alarms going off from one of the safe rooms up there. And the third thing that happens is the huge giant crab wakes up in its cage. It looks over towards you, and it has this menacing like little as its little claw clicks, and then it starts like stressing, like it's getting worked up. It's not, growling or yelling or anything, but it's like skittering back and forth in its huge cage, and its little
Back to
claws
verticulator.
going.
Let's get back.
I'm going to immediately...
That wasn't you guys, was it?
Maintenance comes up calling Gunner.
I don't even know what we just heard there. No, we're still inside trying to figure out what's going on. Perhaps something. The problem may be messing with alarm triggers. I'm not sure. I think it's probably just isolated to the elevator.
Well, can you get the doors open and take a look in the room?
Yep, sure. Let's. All right. Yep. Yeah, looks.
All right, security's on the way up there. What do you see? Let them know what they're in for.
Looks
Crab's angry.
singed. Other than that, I'm not sure. I don't see angry crab.
Is the crab out of its cage? Was the crab the reason that the door went off?
Maybe it looks pretty spooked. Looks a little singed as well.
Roll deception. FP's got a hand up. What's up?
19.
Well, you can resolve this first.
Okay. I can't believe I'm saying this, but
Call off that security breach. It sounds like it was the stupid crab. I can't believe he keeps that crab up there.
and then your security radios go, hey, we're gonna back off on the alert on the penthouse suite there. Sounds like it's just a little pet action.
Copy that. Yeah, it looks almost halfway to boiled. Well, all right, we'll keep working on this.
Do we want to try again?
Did the door even open at all?
No.
Can I reinvestigate it?
I will. And I put a hand on Fox's.
I will investigate.
Yeah, you know, FP, you can investigate it.
Okay, I will do that.
FP,
Yes.
you got this?
I would gladly take your help. I think that would be a very wise move in investigating for chaps.
Bruiser would like to assist.
That is a 23.
23. You identify 3 things. First, a series of runes written on the underside of the door handle. Very difficult to detect. They're not raised or anything like that. The second thing is the center of the door handle. I'm sorry, Fox. The center of the door handle is like faux gold, and if you push inwards on it, there's a keyhole right behind it. And
Goodness.
thirdly, the door has several small like pipettes around the edges of it where fire just came out of.
So FP is just going to like poke the center, just like press into it and like peel the little gold thing back. Ah, it appears there is a keyhole here.
I'm gonna pull out the keys. Do any of the keys have different shapes and like the actual key shape?
Yeah, they're all slightly different, so you could match them to a keyhole, and sure enough, one of them fits.
Okay.
I will
insert
turn
the
the key.
key.
I will insert and turn the key.
Okay, you do it, FP.
We don't want you having a leg incident with your hand. And as I turn very slowly.
You turn, and it only turns about an eighth of a turn before it click. You know, the actual doorknob has been engaged by the key, and so it opens, and in front of you is well, first off, the back of the door, not wooden, not decorative. It is lead, so that scrying magic would not work through it. Reinforced by stainless steel, reinforced by adamantine.
Oof.
Inside, there is a sort of a glowing green sort of auxiliary light cantrip. It's actually a cantrip of dancing lights, so that it can be run off of very, very little power, being fed by its own little personal wingle digit hopper. And in the room in front of you, which is only about 3 feet deep, maybe 4 feet deep, are 2 1-foot-long cloth-wrapped packages.
I enter very carefully, and I would like to make an investigation, or like actually, this isn't touching. This is just perceptioning, to like suss out the inside of this room, just to make sure there isn't anything else going on in here.
Okay.
16, so that's 26.
Okay. And to be clear, this isn't much of a room.
Right,
like,
right.
It's a 1 square room on a D&D
We
grid.
are just paranoid and not trusting of everything and anything.
Yeah. What was remind me your perception?
26.
26. There is a small scratch in the wall at the bottom 1 corner of the room, almost as if the floor is meant to slide up and down a little bit, and it is currently depressed under a certain amount of weight. And above in the ceiling, there are a number of strange runes that have been carved there.
Can I make an Arcana check to try and decipher them? Well, I'm not trained in Arcana,
may.
actually, so probably not.
Oh, then you may not.
Do not step inside. The floor is under a certain amount of pressure. Are these wrapped packages resting against the floor?
Yeah, they're like flat on the
Flat on the
floor.
floor.
They're not touching the wall or anything like that.
Once they are removed, there is some sort of alarm that will trigger, and he looks up and points out the runes at the top. Perhaps we can... Go ahead.
But if weight is added, would that affect it?
Unknown.
Or is it just if
Are
they're
there
removed?
any, like, access panels inside of this safe room?
No.
What about the light? You said there was a dim light in here.
The light, like I said, it has its own little hopper of wingle digits. The hopper's in the back. I mean, you could reach it. It's not a deep room, but the hopper's in like a back corner, and then there's just a hot wire from that hopper to the light.
Okay.
How long does one, like, I'm assuming it's feeding wingle digits, right?
Yeah.
How long does a wingle digit last?
To run a cantrip, a very long time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, can we? Do you think we can reach in there and take however many are in there?
No. I do not think that would be a good idea. Perhaps you
Fox
would enjoy
breaks into a building where we now know 3 pieces of the rod of 7 parts are, makes off with like 6 wingle digits.
So, could we reach the items without stepping
Yes.
in? You said they're covered in a cloth?
Yes, they are wrapped in a cloth.
Could Bruiser take out his rapier and just
whoa.
peel back the cloth carefully, not to trigger like the pressure weight or not step in or anything?
Bruiser may roll a sleight of hand check if he's trained in it, or a dexterity check if he's not.
Sleight of hand it is. Oh, that's a natural one.
Bruiser
Stop touching shit.
reaches in.
Oh wait, I have
You
inspiration.
do.
Can I
Yes,
use
you
that?
do.
You may. I had not yet exposited the results of your failure. You may use your inspiration.
I hate this dice. It's another natural one.
No way.
This is why you
First
don't
you got
use
two
physics
20s
in
in a row.
3 natural
D&D
20s in a
beyond
row.
BS.
You should be using.
I got 3 natural
You should be
20s in a
using
row. My karma
real
has
die.
come back
Real
for me.
die. This is a PTA. Whatever they're called.
We're gonna leave him in there and take the rods and leave. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna
Yeah,
push
we're
him.
gonna push Bruiser in.
Bruiser reaches in
Anyway.
with his rapier and very, very delicately flips the cloth wrapping off of the first rod. The rod is a 1-foot scepter of brightest gold, and just as you see that, you trip just a little bit, and your sword pokes right through the fabric and stabs into the pressure plate on the floor.
Oh no.
Click as the pressure plate hits the ground. Everyone else makes a dex save. Bruiser automatically fails it.
Big sad.
Oof. 17.
22.
25.
22, 17, 25. Okay, only the 17 fails. FP and Bruiser, both of you. Actually, I guess FP is immune. Bruiser, you fall asleep. You topple forwards into the room and sort of flop onto the pressure plate. At the same time, the other 3 of you are able to basically get away from the, well, FP doesn't get away, but it just doesn't affect him. But a mist is coming from the ceiling of the room. You're able to back off from the mist, although it's going to follow you out into the room if you don't shut the door. Fox, you are the only one to notice that the cage for the huge giant crab, click, has swung open quietly and on its own. And lastly, you roll for that. Never mind. That's all that has happened that you've noticed.
All right, I'm going to immediately play damage control and see if I can't stealth over to crab food chest.
Okay.
And if it's try to open it.
You make it over to crab food chest.
Do I need to roll for that or?
No, I rolled a
Okay.
tension die to see if you were able to do it, and you did. You open it up, and inside there are several large, like, livestock, basically,
All right, I'm gonna
or
immediately
medium-sized livestock.
go like click, click, click. Here, Mr. Crab, and I'm gonna hand him some of the food.
Okay. You hold out some food.
Well, I'm not gonna
crab-
hold it out of my hand. I'm gonna push it towards the crab. I don't want to.
Okay. You push it towards the crab. The first, creature or whatever moves towards the crab, and the crab's claw, like, descends and it snaps it up and pulls it back into its cage. You've probably bought yourself, a couple rounds. In fact, Gunner, roll a d6. How many rounds has Fox bought?
All right, FP. It seems as though you can't necessarily fall asleep. I would grab Bruiser and the rods and let's get out of here.
I am already
rolled
doing
a
it.
one. I rolled a one. I rolled a one.
Don't you have
Okay, only
inspiration?
one round.
Yeah, but it's a. Oh, dude, does inspiration work on?
Inspiration just lets you roll something again. I don't know if this is what you want to burn it on.
Yeah, we have one
wouldn't
round.
burn it.
Personally.
We're fine.
Oh, I
We're
thought it was a
one round.
d20 roll. My bad.
No.
Okay. FP, you're going to try and grab Bruiser and the rods.
I am going to. I'm going to take my grappler. Like I'm gonna bzzz and pull it out, and lash it around the rods into a bundle. I'm gonna just like go and then shoot around and lash it to myself, and then I'm gonna try and pick up Bruiser.
Okay. Strength check first to pick up Bruiser.
Oh, I
Luckily, he's
rolled a 19. I think that means it's a 20.
All right. Yep. You are
it's a
easily
19.
able to lift Bruiser. And as you lift Bruiser, you roll a dexterity check with a dexterity save with disadvantage as the pressure plate releases because there's no weight on it.
That's not as good. That is a 15.
15. Unfortunately, a 15 is not high enough. As you lift the pressure plate,
Did I have
You
inspiration
take-
for something?
I don't remember,
Okay.
but I don't.
I don't
think
remember.
so.
Yeah, I certainly do wish right now.
Episode 43.
I am
Never
gonna be using.
used.
I am going to be using my uncanny dodge or my evasion to half or null whatever this effect is.
Oh, you can't null it. It'll be half.
Well, yeah, because I didn't succeed, it'll be halved.
Proceeds to roll 20d20.
Not 20d20. It's not that bad. It's not much better
Just
though.
60-20, the stats for my new character.
38 points of damage
Okay.
as a fireball detonates out of the storage room. At the same time as the fireball goes off, you hear an alarm, a high-pitched alarm noise going off. The huge giant crab immediately drops what it was eating and rushes out of the cage, and it's going to take the dash action towards FP and Bruiser, basically just sprinting straight at you. You may make a dexterity save to jump out of the way, or it's going to roll to hit you. So your AC may cover it. I don't know.
Is this my
but you
turn,
also-
or is this like a reaction thing?
This is a reaction thing. This is all part of the trap.
Okay. So you said a dexterity save?
Yes.
That's a 13 plus 7, so 20.
20. You are easily able to dodge out of the way, and in a twist of good luck, the huge giant crab runs into the barrels right past you and into the safe room, depresses the thing, and then falls asleep as the mist is sprayed down on its head. It failed its save in there. So the only thing that's going off now is the alarm. There is still like a high-pitched alarm.
Dang it, I'm asleep.
Sounds like time to go to me.
I believe the verticulator is working, and it will head to the bottom floor.
Do we want to stop
Wait.
by 47?
I'm gonna check. Wasn't there another door?
There is another door.
FP, please. We don't have anything on Jeb. Can we
Here,
just check
take
this one door?
and I will hand him Bruiser.
I take Bruiser.
Okay.
And I will.
While
I
I'm holding on to Bruiser, can I have Owlin keep a lookout at the lower, just like down on the bird's eye view of the whole building, just to see if like there's any commotion downstairs?
Yep. No commotion downstairs.
and on that point,
Okay.
no commotion from ships from Mr. Spider Spider.
No commotion from ships.
Okay. Gunner, would you please
Yeah.
take care of this other door? And FP is like singed, and part of his like metal plates are loose and melted on the sides. I've got like 14 hit points left. So I'm going to walk back into the verticulator and start using a med kit to like patch myself up.
All right, I'll give it a go. Gunnar will investigate this door for traps.
Oh,
That's a 10, similar roll to previous.
You do not see any traps
All
on
right,
the door.
Gunnar is going to follow.
check for the center thing.
Yeah,
Like, try to poke the center.
Gunnar is going to still try to be careful based on what he saw from the last one. So
okay.
he's going to try to go for the center keyhole. The hidden center keyhole.
Yep. You gingerly press on the center of the doorknob. There is no keyhole there. The doorknob just feels kind of solid.
It pokes you. It's a
gonna turn
poison
it?
trap.
No, he's not going to turn it. Can he retroactively use inspiration to reroll investigation?
I'll let you burn an ocean to do it.
All right. I'd like to use an
Okay.
ocean.
Yeah, you burn an ocean and go ahead and roll your second investigation.
That is a dirty 1. Not a natural
You
one.
do not identify any
Not
traps
a
on the
natural
door.
one, but a dirty 1.
But you are confident in your work.
All right. Then that means Gunnar's going to turn the doorknob.
You turn the doorknob and open it, and it is a food pantry, well stocked with a variety of snacks.
Let's get the hell out of here. And then Gunnar's going to turn around and go back for the verticulator.
As Gunnar turns around to go back to the verticulator, there is a moment where he's looking out the window. And looking outside the window, you see flying there the suspended form of a dirt folk with a pointed hat and leather jacket blowing in the wind. The dirt folk looks towards you, and you can see in its one hand is a small open book. It looks like a leather-bound journal that's like been through some stuff. And in its other hand is one of the communication ciphers, and it holds the communication cipher up to its mouth. And all of you that have security guard ciphers can hear, "We've got a situation up here, pups." And on that note, tonight's Dungeons and Dragons session, the first part of our heist, comes to a close.